Hey you, get on this stick.
Yo, bring it.
Choose your fighter.
Yeah. How's it going, lads?
Fight.
Bang, bang, bang.
Flawless victory.
Side Quest Arcade.
Well, hey there, gamers. Welcome to SideQuest Arcade, the ASMR podcast. I'm your host this week, Micro Manatee, joined by my good friends, Trigger Trevor.
Hey there, guys. How we doing?
And back from the dirt pile, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian, aka Happiness.
Hey, everybody. How is it going?
All right, now I can blow your eardrums out. Awesome. I don't think we've ever done an ASMR open, so I figured, it's about time. Made enough ASMR jokes.
I was like super torn between continuing the talking quiet
I was ready to
or going as loud as humanly possible.
Oh yeah.
Just to, you know what I mean?
Just to fuck with everyone that's like cranking their car stereo up, like, man, I gotta hear what these guys are saying. Hey, everybody! Oh no.
You know what? Hold on. All right, add us sometime next week if you want us to do an entire ASMR episode.
Oh god.
I'm 100% for it. I've been training my whole life for this, so let us know. Hit us up. I encourage you. I'm down.
We're all about pushing the limits on this podcast. Like how far can we take the podcast experience? Like I've been watching some ASMR videos. Like I got stuff to like tap on and fucking. We can get those microphones that look like ears, human ears. Seen that shit?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I'm ready to lick 'em. I'm ready to lick 'em.
I watch some ASMR, particularly after a stressful day of work, but then I have to like filter through to find like somewhat normal ASMR. Like it's just like, oh my god, like the ones where they're just sitting there licking the ears and shit, and you're like, god no. Like some of it could be so strange where you get where like all the stereotypes of it come from, and then the next of it you're like, here's just some normal fucking scratching or just some like calm talking that just my job gets stressful. It helps, but then there's times where I'm like, I'm in that part of the internet, and
now the YouTube algorithm's fucking writing all of that down. They're like, Brian is into ear licking. Yes, 100%. And now your recommendations are just flooded with it. You're like, fuck, God, no, it's not what I wanted.
no, it's please stop. Like,
no, who made this microphone shaped like a human ear? What the fuck? What possesses a human being to be like, you know what? We have to take science farther. And it's got to be a perfect 1-to-1 scale replica of the human ear. Oh, fuck.
And you got to be able to lick it.
You got to be able to lick it. Oh, Jesus Christ. That weirds me out to no degree.
Right.
I don't know.
I have an ASMR story for y'all.
I want to hear it.
You might remember this one as I talk about it. So, my boy Vinny, my roommate, he sleeps through fucking everything. The guy literally has about 10 alarms that go off in the morning. Like, no exaggeration, 10 over about a 2-hour period. And I know because he wakes up super late despite the alarms. So I get to hear him just go off every time I'm out there making breakfast or watching a movie or something in the morning. So, sometimes my boy's sleeping till like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But sometimes I gotta wake his ass up when we're gonna go to dinner with somebody. One particular time, I was in there. I was in the room. I was doing my little song and dance like Vinny, doing my song and dance, my little routine in there. Literally like whatever I could. Was not being quiet at all. You know me, I'm not a quiet person. Motherfucker wouldn't wake up. So obviously my 1000 IQ brain starts tinkering. And I'm like, let me find some lolly ASMR.
Oh no.
Crank that shit up to 100 and let's just see. I gotta be able to wake him up somehow. let's see the soothing sound of
Oh, Nichan.
can wake him up, you know? So I did that. I found like the most grotesque one, I guess, is as a
Just the
non-child
weirdest
predator.
one you could find.
Yeah, the weirdest. The weirdest one, like, I took my time. I was going through videos. I mean, I fucked up my YouTube recommended for a while, but I took my time. I was determined to find the right lolly ASMR video, and man, did I. So I got it. I cranked my TV up to 100, a point on my TV I've never gone before. We were in new territory in the lolly ASMR. So, TV isn't really that far from Vinny's room. The door's open. I walk over there, and Vinny's just still sleeping. His ass is still fucking passed out. So, me, I'm texting Coop. Coop's the one we're going to dinner with. He's like, "Why isn't he up?" I'm like, I don't think you understand. He won't wake up. I think he's dead.
Oh,
And he's
no.
like, "Shut up! You're not doing it right." So I take a video. I still have the lolly ASMR going. I take a video, pan over to him, and I start doing my Vinny song and dance in the video with the lolly ASMR in the background. Fuck it. I just went over there. I fucking shook him. I was like, "Fuck this shit."
Fuck
It
you.
was a good meme for about 5-10 minutes, but we actually had to go to dinner.
Vinny is just too powerful for the ASMR to take over,
Honestly.
you know? Like, he has just reached levels that we can't even comprehend as mere mortals.
Honestly, if I heard in my dreams,
Oh, Nichan.
I'd be
I'm
like,
up.
"All right, shit, let's go. I'm up." Where are we going?
Where's the
But
isekai at?
Vinny-
Where are we going?
Yeah. Where me and my mom going now?
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ.
We'll get into that later.
Oh.
Yeah. So thank God I had guest over like a week later. My YouTube recommend was fucking. I had to explain that one. Luckily I had video evidence.
I was trying to wake my roommate up. I swear I'm not
Sir, I
horny on
swear.
main. You know, I'm not horny on
swear.
main. Silent scenes. No.
Officer, don't take me in. I swear.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, man. I don't know. ASMR community weirds me out. I get it relaxes people, and I know that there's a perfectly normal explanation for like a good chunk of it, but then there's a good chunk of it mixed in there, and you're like, bro, what is happening on this?
What is
Like the
going
people
on?
eating seafood and
Yeah.
fucking
It
like
gets extreme.
you're just like, oh god. But
You know what? All right. Let me up the ante.
All right. All
We've
right.
gone too far. All right.
okay.
Up in the ante from my prior statement. Add us in the chat if we have an ASMR challenge on one of these episodes. First person to fuck up and get out of the ASMR mode and start talking normally. I mean, they're just. You ever seen the Sacco? You know the Sacco from the league?
No.
I
It's,
swear to God, just do that while I'm in camp.
some kind of. You gotta get some kind of loser award. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
So we'll turn into a competition, a friendly competition amongst, elite men such as ourselves.
Hell yeah.
An
Hell yeah.
ASMR challenge coming at you.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's
Add us in the
get
chat. That's all I'm saying.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Bryce has got to be there. Matt's got to be there. We'll make it happen.
Brian wants out because I think he doesn't have the willpower to whisper for 2 hours straight. I can imagine Brian trying to go on a rant but whispering. How that would go.
I mean,
I don't know how
that'd
that
be
would
such a
pretty
good
rough.
episode.
It would be. It'd be so fucking hard though.
Yes, it would.
And
That's
these
the fun of
fucking
it, though.
idiots, they don't know what they're doing. You put the dirt
You know, to be
over
honest,
here.
the Brian rant, I feel like that was a VD2 thing more than that's an SQA thing.
Yeah, you haven't.
Oh.
Well, you popped off a couple
Look,
times. You
Smite
popped off a couple
clearly
times.
had me rather angry because by the time by the time we quit VD2, there was a Brian rant segment, and then I quit that game, and all of a sudden I'm just generally less angry in my life.
Just
Generally not ranting on the podcast. I don't know.
Zen Brian, as one might say, Zen Brian. It's that's what it is. Brian, how was your week? I know you have a quickie. You didn't play a whole lot of games. You were doing real life stuff, but get it
Well,
out,
so my week, of course, it started with Dirt. right? Got home about 5 days ago, as is per normal for me. And then came home and said, you know what? Like last set, I made a rule for myself that I'm not allowed to game before 6. And for the most part, I've broken that rule a few times. But the concept behind it was that I definitely on 10 days off can wake up at 6:30 in the morning, be gaming by 6:45, and then just game till 10 o'clock at night. I've done it more than once. And then I kind of get out of it. And then when you spend that much time just sitting there doing nothing, you start to ache, you start to get lethargic, you start to just, ugh, fuck me. And then once that hits, then you don't want to go do anything else. And then you're feeling guilty about playing games. And then you're just watching like Netflix, like that's any fucking better somehow. And then you go back to camp and you're like, cool, that was a waste of my fucking life for 10 days. I just sat in a basement for 10 days and I went back to the dirt hill. Like, so
What have I done?
So I was struggling with that. So last set, I went out like every day to go do stuff. You know, I went out to different parks. I was exploring Calgary. I was taking some pictures and just doing a bunch of stuff to try to keep me out of the house and keep me from playing games until the evening, where then I felt like, cool, if I had an active day, I could chill for the evening. That was fine. Go back to camp, you know, do what camp does, which is work all day and then watch YouTube on your phone because you're too fucking exhausted to do anything else. Come back and I'm like, I'm not going to game right away. I'm going to minimize the amount of game I'm going to do. I'm going to be active. Yeah. Went for a hike, chose a hike way outside my current fitness level, couldn't finish it, turned around, realized how fattened I've got in the last 2 years since I was hiking back in the VD2 days. And then I went to the Stampede, the Calgary Stampede, the day after that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. So, I mean, we all meme me a little bit. I don't drink as much as most of the rest of the cast. I think Trevor is now the first person that comes on that also doesn't really drink much or at all. So somehow I'm now not the least drinking on this podcast. And of course, I hadn't had a drink in months. But it was Calgary Stampede, and it was a work event, Calgary Stampede. So we got to go with like a catered lunch, and then we got to go to the rodeo. So I got to watch the bucking Broncos. I got to watch people get kicked off of fucking bucking cows. You got to watch like the calf wrestling and just all kinds of crazy, you know, totally full on redneck like cowboy shit.
The most yeehaw thing you could possibly do in one day.
Yeah, I mean, literally the whole week. I mean, I went to the movies. And the movie theater is just blasting country music. Like normally it's blasting like the pop station or it's like lightly playing the pop station. But like that week in Calgary, every store is like, even the fucking Hot Topic is blasting country, right? Like that's Calgary Stampede.
I need some skinny jeans, brother. Sign me up.
The Skids turn into cowboys, and that's just how she rolls during Calgary Stampede.
Unlucky.
So yeah, we went to that, and then we went to they call it Nashville North, but it's just like it's a big tent with like live country music to drink. It's an outdoor bar essentially during Stampede. And like 25 of us from my company like went and just started like partying in Nashville North on a Thursday. Half of us had to go back to work, half of us didn't. I was one of the half that didn't. And normally when I'm drinking, there seems to be this threshold at like the 3 or 4 drink mark where I get to 3 or 4 drinks and I go from like buzzed, but I'm not drunk yet. And there's just this uncomfortable state where usually the room starts spinning before anything else happens. And then I quit. I didn't have that. I was just kind of drinking all day. And then we went to Nashville North, and then I just like slammed like 4 drinks that then went on top of like the 4 drinks I had before that. And I remember looking at my coworker and I was like, so in about 20 minutes, I'm going to be fucked. And about 10 minutes later, I was no longer standing straight. And then I slammed like 6 or 7 more. Like, this is not normally Brian. I mean, I was dancing. All right. And there's people that I used to have respect for me that watch that. Right. Like,
and now you're like not sure. You're going,
Oh no, it'll be fine. But
oh yeah,
because they were just as plastered as I was. But Yeah, and I got going, and then I was like trying, sometimes you get drunk, you start texting the boys, and I realized what a jarbled mess I typed in our D&D chat. And then I woke up Friday morning, and I've never been that hungover in my life. Oh, for a guy that doesn't drink very often, who drank way more than I think I ever have in a single night. I mean, I was drunker than when I spilled my drink on my pants on the VD2 live episode. I've never felt so much like death when I woke up that morning. I got up, I slammed 2 extra strength Advil, and they tell you only to take 1. I then chugged a glass of water and then fell asleep on the couch. Woke up somewhat passable, and then I still had D&D to play that day. And I was just like, this is not happening. And I was like
great.
really back and forth of whether or not we should still play. I was so hungover. And then I was okay enough to make that session happen. And it was a decent enough session, but it was definitely just like, I'm okay with this being a 2-hour session and just like calling it a day. Like, I'm not going into detail on this. Here's just the base description, and everybody seemed to be having a great time, and I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. I mean, I knew you were hurting a little bit because you were like, it was more open-ended, like, hey, just like fucking figure it out and I'll tell you what the area looks like. And I was like, okay, so Brian's hurting, but you were hiding it pretty well. Like, in the dialogue side of things, I was like, oh, okay, he's doing good. He's hurting a little bit, but we're recovering. We're getting there. I was apparently incorrect. You were hiding it well.
I was hiding it pretty well. And then the next day I woke up though, like it wasn't a 2-day hangover. I'm not 35 yet. I'm only 30. And I decided to work out the next day, which was yesterday. And I went for like a proper workout. And now today I think I'm worse off than the hangover, just no headache. Oh, Christ. So I had all these plans. Me and Akimi were going to go out. We're going to do stuff. And I was just like, look, no, I'm going to go play Monster Hunter. See ya, babe. Like,
love you lots.
We went for brunch. I came home. I've been playing Monster Hunter till we're recording. And I'm just like that. Oh, I think I'd take the hangover over this exercise pain.
I that didn't coax me into drinking anymore. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, the hangover
I don't have
is
any
like.
follow-ups.
I try to send it, as Bryce would say, very sparingly because of that. Like, I'll have a couple beer, and I know that I can.
You're still 23. When I was 23, I woke up after a heavy night of drinking, and I would just be like, "Oh man, I'm so hungover." Oh, and then like one day I turned 29. And I didn't really drink enough to actually warrant a hangover from about the ages of 25 to 29. And then I didn't even drink enough to warrant what would have been a hangover at 25, at 29. And I woke up and I was like, I'm going to die. And then, like,
Jesus, take
oh
the
my
wheel.
God. When they say the hangovers get worse at 30, they weren't fucking kidding. And like, I was like, whatever. Yeah, all right, sure. It can't be. Holy fuck. Is that ever true?
My dad's gonna listen to this cackling because I've seen him fucking wake up hungover and he looks like a corpse. Like, he doesn't look like a human being. He's just like, I'm not alive, not a human being for the next like 2 days. It's a 2-day stretch now.
See, like I said, I'm not 35
to.
yet. A 2-day hangover is not a thing.
Thank God. Yeah. I mean,
it's basically like being really out of shape and then working out really hard. Plus, your head is pounding equally as hard as your every other muscle in your body.
I can take the muscle pain. That's fine.
No, so you're still in shape. You haven't ever been as fat as me and then try to work out again.
But
so
what I'm saying, like,
you really truly don't know what I'm going through.
Listen, I'm trying to empathize. I'm just saying, like, a headache. Headache. Keep my headaches, bro. No, man, headache. I will take the ability to not move due to muscle ache versus a headache any day of the week. I hate not being able to think clearly. It makes me the grouchiest motherfucker. It makes me fucking rank Joust grouchy. You know what I'm saying? I get to that point. I'm like, fucking nothing makes sense and I don't know why and I'm mad about it.
I was too sore to have the energy to be angry.
That's fine.
I'll just like, I gotta say though, thank God for Skip the Dishes. Because when I finally was able to like muster the strength to eat, ordering a giant greasy meal straight to your door, thing of beauty.
Oh, that's what you guys call like you got like DoorDash, like your food delivery services.
Yeah, ours is Skip the Dishes. I think we
Got it.
have Uber Eats, but it's like a
Oh, we have it.
fraction as popular as Skip the Dishes here.
It's super popular in Ottawa and Toronto, but I have no idea what it's like out west. It depends on the province.
I actually thought Uber Eats was American only, and that we only just had Skip the Dishes as like our version of it.
Oh,
And then
no.
somebody told me, no, we have Uber Eats in Calgary, but like nobody uses it. It's kind of like how nobody uses Craigslist here and everybody uses Kijiji.
It's because it
People
sounds
still use
cooler.
Craigslist-like sites in 2019. Oh, brother.
Oh, dude, Canada, we love that shit up here. Kijiji, that's
Oh
the
my
shit.
God.
That's the shit, brother. I'm trying to sell an old cabinet right now. Oh, I'm putting that up.
I actually haven't used it in a while, but I've sold shit on it, and then I regret it because comes to a certain point where when we were moving into this place, we tried to sell a bunch of stuff on Kijiji, and after like 2 days of dealing with people, I just gave it all to the Salvation Army instead. I was like, cool, she's donated. I don't need the money from this. Fuck people.
It's, man, I know it was super popular when I was in high school, but then someone in my local area like went on like a truck sale in Kijiji, and he got fucking murdered. Like
What?
yeah, it was like a contract. Like he went to go buy a truck, and the guy selling a truck and his buddy had this whole thing planned out with whoever the first person to respond. They were gonna like kill him and fucking bury his body. It's this whole case in my local town right now. So no one in that area used Kijiji for like 6 months, and it's just starting to get popular.
It is just
yeah.
like America.
Pretty much,
There you
yeah.
go. That is Craigslist.
Yeah, it was fucked up. He was like, I don't know, the whole thing. Like they were trying to find him for like fucking 3-4 weeks. They had so much fucking police officers to do as like a popular farmer and everything. No one used Kijiji in that area for a long fucking time. But
Okay, yeah, we don't. I mean, if we do have shit like that here, I haven't heard of it happening. But I'm also really not that.
no, I'm not into the Kijiji. Like I use it, but I think that's why they tell you like you have to go to like a post office or like set up a meeting in a public area in case you get some random fucking weirdo that's like, you know, you don't want them to know where you live.
I tried to sell a TV. Like, so our cable provider, every 2 years, like when our contract ends, they've always got some kind of deal for like sign up for a new contract and we'll give you a TV. And so we bought a TV from Walmart when we first moved to Edmonton to start university. So it was a cheap fucking TV. It was like a $300 TV on Kijiji. Or not on Kijiji, at Walmart, right? Like it wasn't a fucking quality TV. It was 42 inches and that was all I cared about. I think it was like 720p. And it was like a fucking knockoff brand. Like it was the cheapest TV I could buy at Walmart. And then we didn't have space for 2 TVs yet. When we moved into our last place, we TELUS would not just give us the TV and renew our contract. So we canceled the account in my wife's name and reopened the same account in my name and then made them give us the fucking free TV. I was like, fine, all right. That's what happens when we have 2 people who live in this fucking house, right? Like we will just cancel the account, open a new one, and get the fucking TV one way or another. So we got this TV. It was a bigger TV. It's still up in the living room. 52-inch TV. Don't have a spot for the old 40-inch. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll just sell it on Kijiji. And I put it on Kijiji for $50. Right? I was like, $50 is pretty fucking fair for a $300 TV. And I even put on the ad, like, bought it from Walmart, you know, however many years ago. For $300. It's an off-brand, like, knockoff, but it still works. Replacing because I got a free TV from TELUS. Oh my God. Like, if I didn't have to fucking, like nobody is trusting of anybody. They're just like, and one guy's like, yeah, I looked up the brand. It's a shit brand.
That's what I said.
And it's like, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, I bought it from Walmart for $300. Canadian 300. So that's like what, like $220 American? Right? Like, it's a fucking $200 40-inch TV. What do you fucking expect from this TV? And I'm selling it for $50 Canadian, right? Like,
Yeah, fuck off.
And then they're like, yeah, it's a shit TV. I'll buy it for $25. And I just responded to them, was like, for $25, I've wasted more time talking to you than I care to get, right? Like, I'll just. And then other people are like, can you like send me proof of it like operating? And it's like, oh my
No,
God. Like,
just buy
the
the
amount
TV.
of work
Fuck off.
that people, they're just like, well, and then they wanted like all this contact information so that like if the TV fails, they can like contact me. I'm like, dude, like wanting to just, I guess they've been burned by people selling TVs before or something. And it was just like, I just don't have space for this second TV, so I haven't kept it. Like,
I would just put on the ad, buy it or fuck off. Like that's it. That's what it comes down to. I'm not
oh my
haggling.
God. I had
Just
like
buy it or
40
fuck off.
people email me about it. And like one dude finally showed up to buy it. And like I'd answer these questions and they'd be like, first off, you'd get everybody under the stars offering you $10 to $20. Like lowball you like 30 or 40%. And then you're like, all right, look, they're probably just trying to barter, right? Maybe I can get 35 or something like that. And they're like, oh, if you're $15. And you're just like, no, not going to do 15. You know, I'm down to barter though. No response ever again. It's like, if you don't take the low ball, they won't fucking respond. And so yeah, after selling that TV, we took about $200 worth of more stuff we were trying to sell, canceled all the ads, and just gave it all to fucking Value Village, and just like good enough.
Good shit.
Yeah.
What did you
fuck
do
that.
this week? What you
What actually?
What?
We got interweave week here. We got some crossover. I'll talk about some separate stuff.
Okay.
Then we'll make this transition. Does it sound incon clean?
That sounds good to me, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Sounds bueno.
Hell yeah. All right. So it's kind of been on that movie grind still. By kind of, I mean 100% been on that movie grind. Still been gaming, but so went and saw Toy Story 4, which is, you know, not probably what most people would expect me to say. Real talk, actually a pretty good movie. I ain't gonna lie. 100% though, it is worth seeing just for the suicidal spork. That it like he's got literally like 2 or 3 lines on repeat for the first like, I don't know, 30 minutes of the movie, and there's like one 5-minute segment where he's just like, it's just like a compilation of the dude just being like, either I'm trash, I belong in the trash, or I shouldn't be alive. And he just like freaks out and loses his mind and jumps into a dumpster every chance he can. And I mean, while the joke is meant just to, you know, that's funny, he's trash, you know, he's a spork, you know, put him in the trash. You know, the millennial side of me is like, yeah, relatable. This is so fucking funny, dude.
They knew who they were making this for. They knew.
Honestly. But I mean, like this movie, like they said, it's the last 100%. They ended it clean. You know, the movie is just, they just put a lot of thought into like the little details, especially in the animation. I'm nitpicky about movies, and I didn't have to use that part of my brain during it. Even if I don't want to, it comes out, and you know, nice little family friendly.
Yeah, Bryce always complains about talking to you about movies.
Yeah, that's because he's stupid.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. Well played.
Got him.
Yeah. Flick can back me up. I got numbers on my side now. I ain't
Dude,
Isn't he just like outside barbecuing right now instead of recording?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, his family's here,
Well, he's got
so we'll
family.
give him a pass.
Yeah, all right.
It's also why we're not playing D&D this weekend, because he's like, my brother will just make fun of me forever if he sees me playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, all right, man. Whatever. Trevor and I will analyze movies on our own. Okay.
Exactly. You fucking forehead. Oh my god. So, outside of that, so we had Toy Story 4. Not gonna talk about the other movie I saw in theater just yet. Flint and I have a special bond over it.
Is it Spider-Man or is this a different movie you saw?
Different movie. Oh,
Different movie.
Spider-Man was lovely.
We got to talk about Spider-Man though.
Still gotta talk about Spider-Man. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Oh, you seen it?
Oh, yeah?
Perfect.
Yeah, I literally watched it the day I flew in. I was like, Kimi, let's go watch Spider-Man. And then I almost fell asleep in the theater. But then the movie started, and then I was awake, and then I got home, and I went to bed at like 8 o'clock.
Perfect.
Light it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Since I've seen a couple horror movies in theaters lately, I keep seeing that It Chapter 2 trailer, which actually looks kind of pog. I'm not gonna lie. Flint, did you see it yet?
What's that? The
It Chapter 2 trailer.
Yes, I have. I'm looking for. I enjoyed
That-
chapter 1 a lot, so I'm looking forward to it.
I hadn't seen all of Chapter 1, and I never had a close affiliation with it as a franchise. But I finally got around this weekend to watching the 2017 remake. It was actually pretty good. I was
yeah.
surprised. Chapter 2, I think, looks really good based on the trailer, but it's I don't know that I've ever seen a version where it's like we went forward and now we're adults and the movie turned out good.
So
It could though.
The problem, so I've read the whole fucking 1,300 page novel, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sat down and read that bitch. I gotta tell you, part 2 is hard to do in movies because it gets fucking weird, right? So either the movie's gonna try and follow the book and it's gonna get fucking weird and people aren't gonna like it, or they're gonna go their own way and people that are like diehard Stephen King fans are gonna be pissed, but general moviegoers are gonna be like, this makes more sense and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50.
But do we finally go into more of like the explanation as to what kind of happened in the town to
Yeah. No,
I assume that is what Chapter 2 is partially about.
Yes. So
It's kind of hinted at in the trailer too.
Which is good if they go that way. Like, so the novel lays it all out because I mean Stephen King likes using a lot of words. So I mean that's why most of his books, like his bestsellers, are like 1,000+ pages. He explains like very clearly, this is what it is. This is why it's here. This is what's happening to this town. And there's like this whole other subplot of like other weird shit going on. If they managed to explain that all in a 2.5-hour movie, I would be very surprised, but welcomely so.
Okay, because that's the part I'm more interested in, if anything.
Yeah, if they don't, we can loop back and I'll explain it to you because I've read the book and the original Tim Curry one I think was the first horror movie I ever saw as a kid. Scared the fuck out of me. I hate clowns. The original one sucks so much dick, but Tim Curry is amazing in that movie. Like the rest of the movie sucks. Both of them, the 2 parts. But Tim Curry alone carries that fucking movie. I swear to God, he's so fucking good in that role.
No, man, I believe you. I believe you.
He's like,
I just haven't seen him front to back. Like I said, it's just as a growing up, I
don't
never
know if I
crossed
could
paths
recommend
with
it. I don't know if I could recommend it front to back.
Well, now
just for
Chapter 2's coming, so it's just
Yeah.
might as well
Oh.
watch the new one.
Oh, for the new one, yeah, totally, 100%. And the guy they have doing it now is also bang on. That's what they've done really well in both of these franchises, like the old one and the new one. Is the who they get to play the clown is fucking awesome, and that's like half the movie because I don't give a fuck about the kids.
The same
them
actor
kids.
they had from part 1 playing the clown.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah.
He was.
I never watched the movie because I'm not a horror movie person, but I know watching like reviews or like film theory and like, dude is fucking terrifying.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the gifts, it's like, all right, like if you're going for a horror flick,
That's your guy.
that guy's fucking horrifying.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, so got that out of the way. I was surprised most of anything that a horror remake actually did better. Or I don't want to say did better. Obviously, like if this movie just came out, I don't think it'd be as notorious as it was because of the original. But it definitely was not this poorly constructed remake that they just try to throw money at and hope it would be good. Like most of the other horror remakes, if not pretty much all of them.
One of the things that was actually kind of crazy to learn is like I've been getting to weird parts of the internet in the last while. I got a lot of time
Outside of
switching camps.
the ear ASMR weird part, like
Outside of
just
yeah. And one of the people were talking about like, why is there so many shitty movies? And while many movies can flop and like lose money. There's many movies where they'll take an IP, they'll throw money at it a certain amount anyway, and even if it like tanks on Rotten Tomatoes, they can still make like a 20% return on investment, and then they'll keep going with it. Like there's studios that just like some people see the fucking like Avengers and making these billions in profit, and it's like, all right, you know, they're paying it out like a 200% fucking return on investment, 300,000% return on investment by the time the whole fucking series is done. But there's many of those movies where they just make like a shitty adaptation of like a book or a shitty adaptation of something, and they'll make 10-20%. There's small studios that are just like, cool. Like lots of businesses operate on 10%, 20% profit.
Yeah, I think that's the Asylum's whole business model, honestly, if you were to ask me. People have made like Sharknado and all that shit. They just pump out the lowest budget thing they can and just
like a low budget film, but they'll make like 20% profit.
Yep. I'm sure they made a lot more than that.
Well, okay, Sharknado is kind of like the Avengers of B movies, though, right? Like,
I wish it wasn't.
I don't want to think of it that way. Let's not use those words. Oh, brother.
Oh, that hurt my soul. But
brother.
I think it's
I just meant for the fact that
the accuracy of the statement hurt my soul. Yeah, well, it made too much money for how horrible it was. But I mean, fuck, we there. It's not as bad as Ghost Shark, so I'll give it a pass.
I watched Under the Silver Lake, another A24 movie. I've been on the A24 grind lately. That studio's been putting out some good stuff.
Studio thing.
Yeah. But Under the Silver Lake, I'm guessing neither of you heard of it. It's with holy shit, my brain, Andrew Garfield. And it's just this weird
what's it called? City Under the Lake?
No, Under the Silver Lake.
Under the Silver Lake. I might have to add this to my ever-growing.
You have Prime, right? I think you were talking about this.
Yes, I do, but I also have a VPN, so I can access American Prime if I need to.
Okay. I would watch it, but it is a very strange movie. I don't want to say a whole lot more than that, but it is. Obviously, there's a lot of confusing movies out there that are trying to be extremely deep. This one. God, it's so fucking weird. You know, it's one of those things. I watched it today. I watched it just a few hours ago. I still think I need to sit on it. But it was definitely an enjoyable watch. It's just one of those you think you know what you're going into, and it just continuously it surprised me. It's like, okay, all right, I didn't guess we're going this direction, so we're probably gonna head to this next, and then I'm just wrong, and then I'm wrong, and then I'm wrong. Not necessarily that doesn't mean a movie is good just because it continuously takes you in a direction you don't expect, but it makes for an interesting ride. I don't think you need to be an Andrew Garfield fan to enjoy this movie. But it was all right. I ain't gonna say you have to see it, but it's good enough to watch. A strange watch. It has some really good lines in it that'll make you think. But the other things we watched this weekend, I don't know where to start. What?
Well, let's start with the better of because we both watched Hellraiser this weekend. I rewatched it, but we both watched it. If you haven't seen that movie, I think the tweet I made summed it up pretty well. The plot kicks off with a man so fucking horny that he opens a portal to hell just to get one last nut. Because he literally can't. This is before the internet porn. It was like 1987. So he needed to get into some kinky shit. He opens a portal to hell.
Is this an anime or a live action?
No, this live action.
No, Hellraiser live action.
Live action, brother. So it was the guy with all the nails in his skull.
Sounds like a strange anime plot.
So I'm sure you've seen the guy. He wears like all leather, and then like his entire head is just there's a grid, and it's just covered in nails.
There you go.
That's call him Pinhead. You'd recognize him if you've seen him. He's like the head kinky demon, I guess you would say. I don't know. I'm not deep into the Hellraiser lore, so I don't know
Yeah.
the whole backstory yet. I have the pack of like 12 movies on DVD, so
I've definitely seen this guy.
You've seen the
like,
guy.
I've
I
seen
would
the
assume.
guy.
Yeah. So that guy comes out. Basically, it's like a Rubik's Cube, but if you open it the right way, a portal opens, and that motherfucker comes out with his kinky entourage, and they like put you on meat hooks and get you off, but also torture you at the same time. It's weird. Anyway, so like right off the bat, I'm going, what the fuck? I was just cackling because the guy is like, he's so fucking horny, and the movie starts out, and it's him and another dude sitting on a table, and the one dude has a Rubik's Cube, and he's like, are you sure you want this? And he slams like $4,000 on the table, and he's like, give it to me! I have an insatiable thirst that needs quenching. Just like, really, bro? Like, he literally hit him with the, I'll take your entire stock of kinky Rubik's Cubes right now. Oh, fuck. And then the movie just goes from there. Spoiler alert, the movie's from 1987. I will concede some people probably haven't watched it, so if you're planning on watching it based off the kinky Rubik's Cube description, skip ahead about 10 minutes. We'll probably be yelling about the other movie watched at that point. Yeah.
Was there like a follow-up to that movie or some shit?
No, so
Oh, no,
that's the start of the movie, right? Start of the movie, kinky Rubik's Cube gets purchased. He goes to hell to get tortured, but he escapes, right?
He escapes hell.
He escapes hell, and he's like summoned back by blood. Gets spilled in his house, and he absorbs the blood like kind of a shitty vampire. So like the more blood he absorbs, the more like human he becomes, and it's just him like convincing the people that live there now that like he's related to one of them, and he was fucking another one of them to like bring him bodies so he can become human again. But then someone else, then like his niece discovers the fucking Rubik's Cube and opens the portal again, and then it gets really kinky, and they're like, no one's ever escaped us. And then it's like this whole cat and mouse game where this girl's trying to like dodge between kinky demons, but also her creepy uncle that started
So
this whole thing off in the first place.
Is this one of those movies where it's like, I'm guessing it was a rated R movie.
Oh, 100%. Must have been.
So, like, I'm just trying to picture like who they're trying to sell this to. Like, is this
Horror
is this
fans.
the guy that like doesn't want to go to the XXX section back in 1987, but like wants to get
Oh
kind
no,
of
I mean
like
it's not. Trust me, it's not pornographic.
Yeah, there's no titties. Oh, no,
Wait,
there's,
I think
no, there
there's
isn't titties. No, there isn't, because she's clothed the entire time. The one sex scene, she had clothes on the whole time. Yeah, so there's actually no nudity, weirdly enough. It's just like implied that it gets real kinky in hell, in that part of hell. But it's more like they're trying.
The 80s were weird, dude.
Yeah, the 80s were weird. Like this guy, like there was definitely some drugs done whenever they made this movie. Would you agree, Trevor? There was some drugs done.
Yeah, no, there's
100%.
There's a lot of drugs.
It had a really weird vibe going for it, but it worked for the movie. I actually really enjoyed the atmosphere, and the characters were interesting enough. Like even the side characters, where I was like, okay. It's hard to describe. Basically, yeah, kinky Rubik's Cube portal of hell, but also, you know,
Your zombie uncle in the attic that you have to feed bodies to.
There's that too.
Bring him back to life.
Bring him back, but at the same, yeah. But he was fucking weird too. Like he was grabbing her, like saying "come to daddy" and shit. I was like, bruh, stop that,
brother.
That's
stop illegal.
That is a very illegal. It's underage and related to you. What the fuck? Get out of here. But definitely was one like I would watch again, and I'm probably gonna watch the second one. Hopefully, I don't actually make it up to number 10 or wherever the fuck they're at now.
There's 10 of these.
There's 10 of them.
There's
yeah.
a lot.
There's 10 of them, and then there's an offshoot series. There's like another 5 or 6 from there. So
The lore on these kinky fucking nail-faced demons is deep.
It's fucking deep in there.
We'll get there.
Well, Pinhead was like, he was up there with Freddy and Jason in the horror sphere in the 80s. He was like the pinnacle. So when they were doing Freddy versus Jason, the versus movie, at the end, Pinhead was supposed to show up as like a cameo at the end, and they were gonna set up like a 3-way versus movie with kinky demons versus Freddy versus Jason. And I would have fucking watched that. I would have watched that movie.
So I guess the question from all of the strangeness of this, would you actually like recommend trying it?
Yes.
Like watching it?
The
Like,
first one I would. Just, there's some 80s like gore in there, so I mean it's not like you can tell it's fake, but there was some parts that had me like squirming. I just like things about like fish hooks going into people just freaks me out. Just like the sensation.
Yeah, I ain't about that.
Yeah, that I was not about. I don't know how that was considered kinky, but hey, whatever. That guy was making portals to hell, so I can't really judge him on his fucking tastes. But I would recommend at least the first one. I don't know about the rest of the fucking 16 movie series, but that one part, yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, the story in its own is pretty interesting for a horror movie.
It is.
We're not describing it very well, but
it's hard to describe.
Yeah, we could put more effort into this, but in reality, like I had never seen Hellraiser before. It just it just never. I obviously seen Pinhead before, plenty of times.
Yeah,
but But I finally got around to watching it this weekend, and watching compared to like what Pinhead looks like, I was like, oh, I expected it to be much different. What the? It felt like Little Hot Shop of Horrors esque kind of, and you're just like, this is not normally what a horror icon derives from. Like you think about.
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Trevor.
Well,
you go ahead.
Well, like you're saying, the horror icons got Jason, Freddy. You could even say Jaws. I mean, all of those are slashers in a way. It is like high kill counts, and there's some signature to the kill for all of them, whether it's music or the weapon they use or something. But this isn't. At least yet. I mean, they could make it. I don't know what they do with the rest of the series. It could become a slasher, but it's not. It was
psychological. Like there was a like not a high body count, but there was a body count. But they almost skimmed over it. They're like, that's not really important. We're just furthering the plot with these murders. It was actually more about the plot and the tension building, where you have this teenage girl stuck in between like creepy zombie uncle in the attic, but then also these puzzle box demons, and so like she's trying to navigate that, and that's more what the story's about in the long run, which was super interesting and not what I expected out of an 80s horror movie at all.
Yeah, like the kills, they, like you said, they pretty much just like glossed over it. They didn't make them original anyway, like you would in a slasher. They didn't try to make it the most inventive thing. It was just doink. All right, see ya, on to the next one. Excuse me. Very strange, but I gotta watch the rest. Shout outs to Shudder. Pog.
Honestly, this is the best $5 a month I've ever spent on Shudder.
Honestly,
like I'll watch a horror movie any day, and most of the time I'm like, I just don't know where to find them. Like they're scattered all over Netflix and Amazon, and I'm just like, no, I'm going to Shudder. It's only horror movies. Easy. No problem. The selection's a little question mark at times, but
yes, it is.
We'll get there. We'll get there as a service.
Flint, now I want to transition real quick to something a little not horror-esque. I think you know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about the other movie.
For all of our the other show we watched. We didn't watch another movie. We watched a show.
Well, we watched another movie too, but we were yell about that later, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get away from the horror.
Okay.
So let me pull up the official name for this. Because Flint, I'm gonna be real. Even I forgot.
I have no idea what it is.
So the new anime season started with all the shows coming out recently. For all you weebs out there, don't act like don't hide in the darkness. We know who you are. In that, I wasn't. I was scrolling through and just seeing what new episodes were out, and I saw this show that is called "Do You Like Your Mom?" Her normal attack is 2 attacks at full power. And I'm gonna be honest. I was like, this is gonna be absolute dog shit. But I'm gonna click on it. because why not? So, basically, I saw the opener at the very beginning of the episode, and I realized it's an isekai where the guy gets pulled into another world, isekai, but his mom gets pulled in with him, and she's OP. Um, it's trash. It's absolute trash. But I stopped at that moment because Flint and I had to experience that together. Flint and I have watched a fair amount of good isekais together, which is very few. So I had to drag Flint into this one because just what the fuck is this? I mean, come on, brother. I mean,
It's like if I asked my mom to play Smite with me and she turned out to be the fucking next Baskin. That's what it feels like. I'm just like, wait, no, I'm supposed to be good at this. That's what this main character's going through.
Yeah, and then the kid's dog shit.
He's just trash. Which,
wait, I'm a normie.
fuck. Yeah, I don't know. This is wild. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, the animation's not good. There's some plot, like little points to it that are like, okay, that was kind of funny or something like that. But for some reason, we're gonna watch it. Some would call us masochist. Some would call us stupid. I would agree to both. But that's that's the way of the blade.
Wow. Yeah, it's only episode 1 right now, so we don't know a lot about it. Just that he's in a game, his mom's with him, and she's trying to bond with him, but he sucks dick at the game, and she's
OP.
OP just by virtue of being OP, which is hilarious.
My rule of thumb with anime is if you watch one episode and you don't like it, you got to give it the first 3, unless it's just like clearly like this is just complete dog shit. If there's any question, give it 3 and then drop it or not. You'll know by then. This show, I think, even if it's dog shit, I'll probably watch all 12 because it's just it's like a car fire. You should just look away and just walk away. You got better things to do, but then you still look at it.
I think you described the entirety of SSS Gridman for you and me, man. I think that's.
Oh, brother.
Oh, that was rough.
Oh my god.
At the end, I thought you still liked it. I thought you were still liking it.
Okay, yeah, that is different. Now that you remind me, we each continued to watch it, not because we thought it was good or that we wanted to watch it, just because we thought the other liked it, so we had to finish it.
Oh
my god, that was F. And then Matt's like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know?"
And then Matt's like, "I actually like this a lot." What? Unironically?
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
But hey, I don't know. He's got that nostalgia goggles on, I think, because
Weeb man Matt, hell yeah.
Weeb man Matt, dude, literally been to Japan, literally been to Godzilla Street. How about that? I seen him there, walking into the store that they were selling Minion masks. I seen it. I seen it with my own 2 fucking eyes. A little drunk, but I saw it.
Oh brother. You know what else we saw, Flint?
What else did we see, Trevor?
We saw a certain new horror movie called Crawl that opened in theaters this weekend.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
If you somehow avoided the ads for this, you are a god, because Twitch spammed these ads on every stream for like a month straight. And if you haven't seen it, it's basically Florida. Girl can't get a hold of her dad when a hurricane's coming, so she goes to a house to try and get him. Goes under the crawl space because he's working down there, and find that he's trapped down there because of an alligator. And
Lucky.
Actually, I think I described a better movie than it is. I'm gonna be real.
It sounds like, oh damn, that's intense. Brian, this movie, because I didn't see the Twitch ads. I wasn't really on Twitch past month. Not I have ad blocker on, so I mean, rip me. But When I went to the theaters to go see Spider-Man, there was literally more ads for Crawl than there was for the new Wonder Woman. For like every other movie, there was like 6 Crawl posters, and then like you had like Wonder Woman, and I think there's like a new animated movie coming out, Abominable or something like that. But it was like all Crawl the weekend before.
I never even heard of Crawl.
Yeah, it was plastered over the fucking movie theater. I was like, what the fuck is this movie? This is just like a monster movie? It's supposed to be a horror, like a creature flick? Okay, all right, dope. I'll definitely watch that. And man, that was 2 hours I'm not getting back. Fuck.
Okay, real talk. There's some parts in the beginning that were actually funny. I tried to save this part because I want to talk about it here. As someone who spent most of their life in Florida, this movie they start out at the University of Florida, which is in Gainesville. It's about Central Florida, and they say they got to go 2 hours south. I never heard of the town they're going to. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't care. But there's like this sequence where she's in the car listening to the radio, and they bring up the newscast, and it's like Pasco County Sheriff has asked the citizens to stop shooting at their hurricane. It does not stop the hurricane. And which, if you remember, that happened. I don't think it was Pasco that did it, though. I know because Pasco I lived in, as well as my hometown, Hernando County, its next door neighbor, which is where I believe it came. And I want to say that's true because hometown pride. All right, let's be honest. Hometown pride, baby. Only in Hernando County, you got people shooting at the hurricane. But that little joke that I liked. But they had like some hints of like actually knowing what Florida's like. Their scenery was all right, but then you quickly notice, wait, there's a hurricane. The entire time it's raining in the movie. Wait a second. No water's hitting anybody, but there's rain. And then you realize they literally CGI'd rain in, and they just like sprayed a water hose and everything to make it appear damp. Because rain doesn't hit any people in the movie. Rain doesn't hit the cars. It doesn't hit the water they're in. It hits nothing. It's just CGI water coming down. Then the trees, all the bushes, everything. It's like they went to Home Goods or some other decoration store, and they picked up all the fucking $2 fake plants, and they just put them in the ground. And they put them in the ground with that 25-cent a square foot fake grass you can get at the home improvement store.
True.
That is just like laughably fake. Like I don't understand. Like the rest of the set was actually pretty decent. Like the construction, like they had the houses and everything. I'm like, you showed like 2 feet of grass and you couldn't afford to fucking put semi-looking realistic grass in? All right, I'm getting nitpicky, but that stuff pissed me off. But I know you saw it too.
Look, I noticed the rain. The trees were a little rough too. I was just surprised the amount of advertisement this movie had that they didn't fucking go all full hog on the actual movie. Like they just wanted people in the seats because they knew it sucked. I wonder if that was the case. Like they're like, this movie is gonna be bad. We know it's bad. So if we just get bodies in seats, that would fucking fix the problem.
Maybe, but it's like when I went in, there's like nobody in there. And I went like prime time Friday night. I went like I think 9-10 o'clock on a Friday night. It was fucking empty. I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody who actually wants to watch this because they're masochist and stupid just like us. I respect you, 100%. But there's one thing I can pick on without spoiling technically, and it's the fact that obviously this is a horror movie about gators. There's a bunch of gators. And not, we won't get into that. We're assuming that because of creature movie logic, the gators are going to be OP, they're going to be strong, and there's going to be a lot of them. Like, we're getting rid of the realism there. But gators, if you've ever had to live near them or anything, a couple rules about them. One of them is the death roll. Gators, when they latch on, will spin their bodies to rip off whatever they grabbed. That is, YouTube it if you want. If you've never seen it, it's It's something. But that is their notorious, like, if I grab something on land or water, that's how I grab it, and that's how I get the fuck out.
We're going for a spin cycle, bitches. That's it.
Yeah, it's just Gator spin cycle. That's all. That's all. I'm sure at some point you've seen at least like a Gator handler fuck up, and that's exactly what happened to them. So you would think in a movie with alligators, and that's the horror movie, you would think that the Gator's signature move would come into play.
Death roll no
Flint,
jutsu.
does it?
Death roll no
Does it?
jutsu. No, wait, one time out of like fucking 16 opportunities. They're like, yeah, this time we'll use the roll. This time we'll use it. Like, bruh, that is as natural to gators as it is like when you scratch a cat and they fucking lift their ass up in the air. It's involuntary. When they grab something with their jaws, they're spinning. Okay, just do it. No one gives a fuck. You can't even get the rain right. Just fucking make the gator spin. That's all I care about.
It was that weird mix of like they gave a lot of shit about the movie clearly, but they didn't. It's so like where it mattered. They did not care about this movie, but they put so much money into it. There's a lot of details that don't make sense. I don't want to nitpick everything because it's exhausting. It's terrible, but it's terrible not because it's not a good movie. It's terrible because they tried to make it good and they did not care about it in the slightest, which disqualifies it for being a B movie and makes it a dog shit movie. Put down the hammer.
88% on Rotten Tomatoes, brother. 88%.
Brother, don't you. You're fucking lying. I ain't looking. I'm assuming there's a decimal point that's missing. Fuck that movie. It is so laughably terrible because you and I love some B movies.
Yep.
All right. We love some shitty horror movies. We talked about it last 2 weeks. This was just
bad. I was bored. I was bored. I was like, there's no stakes here. I don't care. I know every character other than the two in the crawl space are just dead. Like, I don't care.
Yes.
I just do not. There's no like tension for me. Yeah, I did not like it, but fucking apparently everyone's recommending it. I don't know who they're paying.
Yeah, I don't. Bro,
apparently everybody.
Yeah, Cinema Score says it's a B. It's a B out of a possible A to F. Post Track says it's a definite recommend. Rotten Tomatoes is 88%. Like, boys, did you even watch the movie? Were you on your phone the whole time? What the fuck?
They're writing the review. They're writing the review the whole time. They're paid review.
Oh fuck, they must be, man. They must be, cause that's fucked up.
Dude, that was all right. So this is a perfect time though to shout out. The only reason I went to see this in theaters is because AMC theaters, for all you in the States, as I hear they're not in Canada, AMC theaters has a membership called A-List, I believe, where basically you pay like $22 a month and you can see up to 3 movies a week. It includes like you can book ahead, you can see all the formats, so like you can see IMAX or just regular or whatever you want in between. It's all included. You can like if Avengers 12 gets announced tomorrow and it's in theaters, you can still reserve seats for it just like anybody else. Like, it's sick. I used to use Movie Pass before it went to shit, for any of you moviegoers, but this has been like primo. I love this program. So shout outs to AMC. Regal's gonna have one, I hear, soon. They're working on it. But if you are trying to get into going to the movies, like, I just don't want to spend like $17 on a movie I may not like or something. AMC A-List, if you want to go to like 2 movies a month, you'll save your money right there just seeing 2. Because real talk, around me, IMAX is like $20 right there. So I see 1 IMAX a month, I got my money. Now, there's a movie I want to talk about. Perfect timing.
Man,
Flint
we are
rolls
doing
up.
an entirely movie episode. I thought Flint wanted to talk about like Pokemon.
I do want to talk about Pokemon.
We gotta get Spider-Man now. We gotta pull Brian into the movies.
All right.
I mean, that's one of those movies I feel like it's so fresh that's like talking about the Avengers right now. Or like back in the day, right? Like when Avengers kind of came out. And all I gotta say is like I liked it. I think it's my second favorite Spider-Man movie, second to Into the Spider-Verse.
I feel that.
I fucking loved Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
And
I would agree on that.
I thought it did a lot of things well. Like the way they played out the trailers, it gave you enough of like a something doesn't feel right, particularly with Mysterio. Then you get in and you're like, and cool, yeah, all right. If you know the Spider-Man universe at all minutely, okay,
We're in it.
everything makes more sense now. We're in. We're good to go. And I thought it was well played.
Spoilers,
everything-
by the way. We'll try and keep it spoiler-esque, but like we started talking about Spider-Man. It's been out for a couple weeks. Go ahead.
I mean, like, Mysterio is a villain from like the 60s, and then he's in this movie, and the trailers show him as a good guy. And
Yeah.
then when you watch the movie, everything makes sense. And you're like, okay. And I'll try to leave it at that.
But
I thought, like,
if you got bamboozled by that, like, all right, we have an A-list actor in a superhero movie that shows up as a new character. I wonder what's gonna happen. I wonder if they're the bad guy.
when they showed in the trailer that he was from an alternate universe, that line is one of the most important lines I think to put into that trailer to then sell the well, maybe.
Yeah, I get that.
Like that to me, it was like
Didn't have me. Did not.
there's
fool
a
me for
weird moment
second.
with some of that too, right? Where it's like I don't want to spoil the movie, but then at the same time too, like if you know anything about Spider-Man, it falls in a weird boat. It goes right back to my conversation before where I was ranting about not being allowed to talk about Final Fantasy VII's story because some people haven't played a game that is fucking almost 30 years old. Or 20 years old anyway. Right? I guess not 30, 20 years old. But then it's like, and then I was having a conversation with Derek, and Derek is excited to try Final Fantasy VII because he was never into JRPGs, but this game actually looks exciting. And it's like, oh my God, right? Like, he is literally a person that I could not discuss the fate of Aerith with because he can actually live that for the first time next March. And it's like, spoilers sit in this weird territory that apparently 20 years isn't enough. So the 40 years, you know, whatever the 60s or 50s when Mysterio was made, still probably in spoiler territory. And somebody's going to be mad that I said that Mysterio is a classic villain from the 50s or 60s, right? Like,
Well,
like
on top of that, he's never been a good guy, ever. And I read like Multiverse Comics, Ultimate Universe, all this shit. He's never been a good guy. They've never been like Mysterio. Yeah, man, next Avenger. So I was like, there's 0% chance. This is all fucking tomfoolery.
But
This is all tomfoolery.
not only that, if you haven't read the comics, like Flint, here's the thing. You look at any movie trailer, especially superheroes, and, you know, if there's a villain, the villain is somehow portrayed in the trailer to kind of give you an understanding of the plot. Did the Elementals really feel like a villain? Come on, bro. You think a guy who looks like a fucking tornado was gonna be the main villain? Like, they didn't even try to sell you that shit with Sandman back in Spider-Man 3. They're like, real talk, all right, we got a couple for you because, like, a guy made of sand, we weren't gonna just do that. Like, there's gotta be more to it. So
I'll give you that.
It just like, if it
Out of
wasn't the
everything
Elemental,
that's
it just-
happened, the villain is suddenly just, yeah. Elementals coming to destroy the planet.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He's made out of water. That was made out of fire. That guy's wind. Good luck, Spidey. I mean, granted. I mean, that's pretty powerful against Spidey. Like, what is he gonna do?
Yeah. Whoa,
But
whoa,
it's,
what's
it's,
happening?
It's anticlimactic. What I liked the movie a lot. I did not. I was uneasy at the beginning because the set they had. It just felt so fake. It didn't feel like, I don't know. It just had this weird atmosphere to it where I just couldn't get into it at first. But once the action started kicking in, their CG was incredible.
Yeah.
All of the fight scenes and the Mysterio scenes were absolutely fantastic. That really drew me in and made me enjoy the movie as much as I did.
I gotta give some comment, like agreement with you on the, like, some of the premise, like one of the things with Spider-Man, especially like classic, original Spider-Man before he kind of grew up, was like that high school relatability. And in the first movie, they did a pretty good job about like, balancing that high school life. But maybe other schools in the States actually do this, but like I don't know many schools that just take people on like giant European trips, right? Like maybe some like private schools for some rather wealthy people. But he's not a wealthy person, right? Like no school in that part of New York has a budget to take these students on this trip. And there's no way Aunt May has that money, or any of his friends that are, living this like average lifestyle.
I mean, he got some Tony money. Let's be real. But everybody else, yeah.
That's why I said Aunt May. But then I also pointed out his friends. It's not like Peter's taking that
that's what I'm saying.
money, paying for all his friends. It's like whenever I've seen any high school movie where they're like, oh, and they're traveling, and it's like, what high school is doing this?
Well, all right,
why
hold on.
didn't I attend that?
Didn't they cover this though? Didn't like Mysterio actually set this up to an extent?
I don't remember.
I can't because he manipulated the trip later, but I don't remember.
Well,
if
Shield manipulated the
set it
trip
up.
later for sure. That was Sam Jackson.
No. Mysterio did manipulate it at first because he had to get the glasses. He had to set up a scenario.
Now we're getting to spoiler territory.
Mm.
Well, we don't know what the glasses are. I mean, like, but
still.
Could be. I don't know.
We're getting into spoiler territory. We should slow down on that. But I agree. Like, I'm trying to talk mostly to information I've seen in the trailers because I feel like that's pretty okay territory. And like, look, it's far from home. He's traveling, away from the United States. I knew of a couple of people that went on like a European trip in high school. And it was like the most wealthy kids from my class going with like the one teacher. Like it was a very specific thing. And usually it wasn't just for tourism. Usually it was for like some specific event. Like they've set this whole thing up to go to a conference or something. And it's like the science kids or something like that.
Yeah.
And I only knew of one class that went on one trip throughout my 5 years of high school, right? Like,
yeah, it felt unrealistic. That's what I was saying. It just
some of that premise is kind of like, all right, but
they got
once you kind of suspend that disbelief, you're like, I'm down with everything that's happening.
Yeah. I was down. That movie was awesome. That was a great way to follow up after Endgame. I felt that was the right movie for that.
Like, there's some people I know that like when I talk to coworkers about like Marvel movies and shit, like they hate. Some of them are just like so burnt out on superhero movies, but at the same time too, I'm also just like so happy with the quality that Marvel Studios and Disney seems to be making with all of their fucking movies. That like I want more shit to just go back to them. Like Sony trying to hang on to like Fantastic Four or any shit. It's just like give it to them.
Bought back. Yeah, I think they.
You know what I mean, though, right? It's like,
yeah.
I mean, but they kept Venom, right?
Mm.
I think Disney just is buying them, but it's like, the symbiotes I don't think were done well. Not, Venom movie was entertaining, but I could chew it apart for a million reasons, but it was just like, I had fun, and that was ultimately all I really cared about with that movie. Went in with low expectations, had many parts that made me shake my head and kind of just like, all right, this is how she's rolling, but then overall enjoyed the experience. I want more than anything to see with like this Peter Parker with Marvel's way of handling it, a Venom, like a symbiote movie.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they brought it in. Because I don't think they're buying back Venom. Sony has movie number 2 coming, so it's going to be a while if they buy.
I heard that somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I remember reading also that Disney was just like buying Sony.
I don't
or
know.
making bids to buy Sony in its entirety.
I hope not, man. Fuck. Disney has way too much intellectual IP out there right now. They have way too much. getting
This
close.
falls into a weird monopoly. Like I was watching a YouTube video trying to discuss like the monopoly of Disney, where they don't have a monopoly yet, but they damn near have a monopoly, and they're hugely impacting the entertainment world, and they're buying like everything, and then they've got enough money to like let to convince Congress to let it happen. But then the entertainment world also doesn't sit in a world where the free market is like impactful to people's lives. Like it is and it isn't, right? Like it's not like a power company owning all of the rights to power, so there's no competition, and then they can just gouge the shit out of people for power, like necessities or food. You know, Microsoft computers are at this point a necessity. I mean, even when you don't have a home desktop from Microsoft, like you had like all kinds of other things too, and
Office
they
and
actually,
Word, and,
you know,
yeah.
I know Apple's come back, and you know, then it's actually competed, but like they had to step in because Microsoft, especially on like small devices and stuff. Um, but then Disney, it's like we could argue that the entertainment industry is not a life necessity in the same way as food and water and power and computers and you know, and Disney is basically gaining a monopoly on everything that we watch. And it's partly terrifying, but also like they just also have quality better than everybody else's. Like when you have Capcom and they have their like local monopolies of their areas because of shady deals that says I won't go into your territory, you don't come into mine, then they give a shit service to the whole fucking area because they can and no one can come
You
in
mean
with a better
Comcast?
service.
Because Capcom makes Street Fighter.
Shit, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I was
fucking
confused
Ryu
there.
out here shitting on your internet. Hadouken! Hadouken!
My bad.
1
my bad.
megabit
I
per
meant
second.
Comcast. I meant
That's
Comcast.
what
My
Fud's
bad.
got going on over there.
Maybe
I was like,
you-
wait, is this a weird Canadian service? What is this?
You right. You right. My bad.
Got you
my
there.
bad. Comcast anyway, and they're just giving everybody shit internet service. It's
Yeah.
like the funny part with Disney is in many ways their quality is also just that much better than everybody else's. Like many of their programmings are actually like top notch.
But that doesn't excuse it. But I
No,
think
but
there's a big
it's a
difference.
weird world where it's like, how do you police it? Because it's not a necessity, but then they're also just taking a monopoly on like quality. I mean, I know they don't own like, you know, there's still competitors in some of that, but like if they buy Sony, what's to keep Disney from just like buying Netflix in 5 years, right? Like at the rate that they're growing,
Yeah,
where do we end up?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't see that ever happening, specifically Netflix.
I know.
Especially since Disney's paving its own territory in the streaming platform, and theirs is going to be successful because of Marvel. What I will say though is that I don't like how much they can buy, but at the same time, like it's not like an industry like internet where you can close off other competitors and there's no chance to compete like at all, like literally close off. It doesn't matter how much money you got. I mean, there's still plenty of studios that are coming out with movies regardless. It doesn't matter how much they buy. Disney will never be the only producer of movies, and that's in that they can't have a monopoly. But it still is monopoly-esque. Where I don't feel comfortable with it. Like they own ESPN, they own Marvel. I don't want to go down this list.
They own a lot of shit.
They own a lot. Yeah, let's just
They
be
they
quick about
own
it.
they own Lucasfilm, they own Marvel, they own ABC, and they own ESPN.
Yes,
That's fucked up.
but that's
Think about
just
it. That's a lot of content.
for entertainment. But whatever. I mean, the other thing, honestly, they're going to be the first company to put out, hopefully, a decent superhero TV show. So you know, I can't hate on it too
Some of the
much.
TV shows I thought have been pretty good. Some of them kind of started out strong and then kind of took a nosedive.
But that's
but
what I mean. Like you can't do that. You can't just be like, yeah. So we want to make this 20 seasons long, and it's only good for about the first season. It's just
like
fuck off.
Flash season 1 holds a special place in my heart. Loved Flash season 1. Flash season 2 also pretty good. Flash season 3. Stop
I
watching.
wanted to jump off a cliff.
Arrow season 1, pretty good. Arrow season 2,
They just made that a drama.
primo TV.
Chef's
Primo.
kiss.
Oh. And then, woo, downhill she goes.
You could actually chart exactly when Arrow started sucking, and it was the midway point of season 3, and then it was just.
Like, I was so committed into season 3 because of how amazing season 2 was, and then she all went downhill from there. Just,
F for Arrow. Apparently, it started. I watched up to season 5. Season 5 was good, and then I heard 6 sucked, and I was like, I'm not wasting my time. I've watched too much Arrow already. I got through 3 and 4 week to week. I was one of the warriors that made it through the worst Arrow. Oh fuck! But it's ending, so I might go back watch season 6, 7, 8. I'll keep you posted.
Brother.
I don't know, brother.
Oh, brother.
I don't know if I have that kind of time with all this horror movies I gotta be watching. You know.
I
got 16 Hellraiser movies to watch, apparently.
Oh my god.
You know a TV show is bad when, like, season 4 of Arrow, like, what is it, 22 episodes? I got to episode, like, 19 from still holding on to commitment from, like, season 2, right? Season 3, like, it was worse, but I accepted it. Season 4 started out okay. I really liked Damien Dark when he first came out. And then by the time I got to like episode 18 or 19 of the 22 episodes show, I just walked away. Like when you're at the climax of your fucking season and that's the point that you just walk away, you're like,
Brother.
I'm done. Like, it could be the point where you go to show, you get to episode 19, and that's the point where you're just like, I'm in, and I can't fucking wait for the next like 3 episodes, right? Like when you get to those last 3 episodes, like I just watched Stranger Things season 3. It's season 3, beautiful. Like I think my order of favorites is like season 1 closely followed by season 3, and then season 2 is definitely the weakest of the 3. And I watched the first 6 episodes, and then it was my last night in camp, and I knew I only had a 2-hour workday and then was flying out. And I couldn't put it down. And I was up till midnight, slept 5 hours, and flew back home the next day. Like, that's where you should be when you got 2 episodes left, not just walking away from the entire series. Arrow season 4 for me. Like,
yeah. I could yell for about an hour about Arrow season 4. That was a rough one. But I want to yell about something a little different. I want to yell about Pokemon again. For the second time.
Again.
So not different, just, different from what we've been talking about this week, because fuck me. God damn it, Game Freak. God damn it. Ah! Brian, you haven't been keeping up with this at all. Okay?
0.
All right,
Fill
so
me in.
fucking cliff notes from last time I yelled about this. Sword and Shield are coming out in November. First, actual main series Pokemon game on the Switch. All this cool shit's coming out, like, hey, man, there's an overworld, you don't have to always do wild battles, which I'm, 50-50 on, but, Pokemon are just roaming around, you can walk into them, but it looks cool, new region, cool starters, all the standard Pokemon hype. And then they have the Treehouse, which is, where they play parts of the game, and they have the devs there, and the devs give you information. It's kind of like the patch notes, but, bigger. They did the same thing for Smash, same thing for that. And the developers of the game go, yeah, well, thing is, we're not gonna have all the Pokemon in Sword and Shield. We're gonna limit the Pokedex. There's gonna be no national dex. You can't transfer from old games. What's coded into the game is what's going to be in Sword and Shield. They haven't released the full list, but it's gonna be the original 151 plus whatever the fuck they add. But people are projecting about 200 to 300 Pokemon aren't making the cut.
Yeah, okay.
People lose their goddamn minds.
I mean, I know people lose their goddamn minds, but I, again, am not somebody that's that bothered by that.
See, it depends on how you play it. I've done living dexes before. I genuinely enjoy collecting all the Pokemon. To me, that's a core mechanic. But that's, if they had given a good enough reason, I would have been okay, fair play. But the reason they gave, it was twofold. So the first reason was hey, it's really hard to balance the game competitively with 1,000 Pokemon. These motherfuckers made Mega Rayquaza. They don't give a fuck about balance. And okay,
People will balance in those cases. Like they will set their. I mean,
people
they have
self-regulate.
all of the
They
different levels,
self-regulate.
right? Like they'll self-regulate their
Yeah,
tournaments.
and the competitive scene like is region locked anyways. For the first year a game comes out, you're only allowed to use Pokemon that appear in the regional Pokedex. That's how they've like self-balanced for the years, so people don't just immediately import their old teams and just cheese their way to victory year after year, right? They allow for some meta growth.
Right.
So right off the bat, I'm like, that's a non-issue, right? Second reason was it's really hard to animate 1,000 Pokemon, including movesets, whatever. We just don't have the manpower for that. It's a lot of work. Again, sounds legitimate on the surface. Couple problems with that. First problem is they're reusing animations from Pokemon X and Y and models. They're just porting them into the Switch. This has been proven. You watch animations from Pokemon like Pikachu, Charizard, Mainstays, side by side. It is the same fucking thing at the same resolution. And the whole point of putting HD resolutions in Pokemon X and Y, which is what they did when they made the game, was so that they could future-proof and have to work less, right? So they've done that. They've released all the a new gameplay trailer, right? And they have this new mechanic called just like Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing.
Yeah, okay. When I saw the Dynamaxing on the original trailer, I was like,
yeah, this is where all that animation
Not into
budget went to, okay? Because they've custom animated all these Pokemon. They have special evolutions when they Gigantamax for 3 turns in a battle. The evolution only lasts 3 fucking turns. And they're absolutely busted. Like, there's one guy that, like, it's a water-type move, but it also deploys Stealth Rocks at the same time, which if you've played any competitive Pokemon, Stealth Rocks is one of the most broken mechanics in the game. Because you can just, like, anytime a Pokemon enters the battlefield, it takes damage on your opponent's team. You just do that for free while also doing damage. It's the most busted fucking move, right? So they're introducing all these crazy new mechanics, custom animated, right? But then also, pardon me, reusing animations from previous games for older Pokemon. So it's like, you're not actually, the things you're animating are things we don't want in the game. And these are the things that are taking away from all the Pokemon making it. On top of that, people have shown like textures from the overworld of people walking around. And there's like trees and foliage and shit that is worse quality than N64 games. So they've clearly just like mismanaged their resources, and the reason they're taking Pokemon out is because they don't know how to fucking do this year over year in a 3D environment. And I'm fucking heated about it. Okay? I don't care if all the Pokemon aren't in the game, but it's gotta be for a legitimate reason, not just we suck at making games, which you shouldn't after 20 years of making the same goddamn game, Game Freak. You should be pretty fucking good at Pokemon now. You've had a lot of practice, okay? Pokemon fucking Pokemon Red and Blue, I'm so mad I can't even get the versions right. We're fucking out in 1996. You've had 23 years to get this right, and you're fucking it up now? After all this time? Now you're fucking it up? That'd be like if Smite was a perfect game in Season 0, and we get to Season 23, and now it's just all out the fucking window. Like, we don't know how to make a MOBA anymore. We don't know. We don't get it. We don't understand. What? Unbelievable.
They're getting old.
You must have forgotten, dude. Alzheimer's. Fucking Pokemon Alzheimer's, dude. I can't believe it.
Dude.
F. I'm pissed. I don't care if they're not in the game, as long as the game's good and looks good and your reasons are legitimate. But so far, it's just been a whole fucking crock of bullshit from the trailers that I've seen. And I'm upset. Not pre-ordering.
Are you?
This. Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize you were upset. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Sorry.
I'm sitting so neutral on this. It's just like one, when people are pulling shit from like you know, pulling it from the trailer and then making these comparisons of resolutions, it's like I kind of question you know, trailer analysis for some of its accuracy. I've seen some shit over the years where people have been like they have like destroyed the game before it ever came out, and then just like all of it was wrong, right? Or it's like, oh hey, somebody slipped up and had a an alpha tree in the trailer, but it doesn't look like that when it releases, right? It's like that kind of thing. I don't really care, right? It's hell, even if it is an N64 resolution tree, still don't give a shit. All I really cared about was just like collecting my team and battling my team. On the lack of Pokemon side, I mean, so if they're not having a national dex, but then there's like 300 Pokemon getting cut, it means they still have 700 Pokemon. Does that mean that there's fucking 700 Pokemon like wildly around to be found? Like the other games, when you had your regional dexes, you were working with like a 200 Pokemon regional dex.
Incoming Pokemon loot boxes, watch out.
Right? So where are these other like 500 ones coming from? Like, is it just like a semi-national dex?
It's no. They said there's no national dex at all. So
that means that you're playing a game with a base 700 Pokemon? Like, is that what I'm hearing? Is you're like doing your whole thing, and then okay, I kind of questioned if you've got 700 fucking base Pokemon, like, are you gonna go to a single bush and have like 25 different random Pokemon to like, try to fuck around? Like where does some of that kind of come in? Or is the map so fucking big? Like maybe the trees are that low res because they just have that much shit going on. Like I don't really. I mean, graphics. Nintendo has never really been known for its crazy graphics. I found even when I found like Diamond and Pearl like revolutionary for the world of Pokemon, but even then, like the fucking sprite of your character was like 3 generations ago, like in quality. But you got in the battles, you had fucking still images and like the animations that are coming on your Pokemon. Like they've never been animation powerhouses. And maybe it's because they've been working on the same fucking game for 23 years. I've felt every single Pokemon I've played to date has always been just kind of like, like Pokemon amazing. Love Pokemon. Holds a place in the heart. Love collecting. Love going through it. But Pokemon quality or like graphics, like the first time they had a semi 3D Pokemon, what was that? Oh, and like, is that X and Y?
X and Y, which
yeah, but
haven't gone
like,
up since
oh my
then.
god, Nintendo finally brought 3D that's been around for 10 years, right? Like, I don't know, it doesn't.
So really I just put a picture in chat for you, buddy, of the tree. Okay, and the right is from Breath of the Wild, which is also on the Switch. Okay, they can do it. They can do it.
Yeah,
they have the technology and the animators, and the Pokemon literally makes $90 billion a year. Okay, they're not some indie. It's not some indie company. It is literally the most profitable entertainment franchise in the world. On a list, it is above fucking Marvel, above everything else. It is fucking amazingly popular. And they're like, nah, man, we can't do it. Can't do it.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just kind of saying, like, A, it doesn't surprisingly bother me, and B, they've never really. I mean, Nintendo's had that powerhouse, but none of the Pokemons, like Legend of Zelda, actually has typically always kind of pushed the boundary or pushed the bar a little bit. Like, at least for the Nintendo consoles, like when it came out, it was always kind of the best performing, best looking one. So you're taking a game that is actually like prided on its quality versus a game that is prided on its collectibles, but not really, and its merchandising, but not actually. I would never say Nintendo or Pokemon was ever known for its like high fidelity of graphics.
I would agree with you, but they've also removed a vast amount of content from the game as well. Like, if you look at Heart Gold and Soul Silver and the amount of things you could do in that game, like end game, I'm not even going to touch the 16 badges because that's like a fucking argument Pokemon fans been having since the end of days. Like, let us have more regions. But, like, the end game content, the replayability of that game with the amount of, like, side things. You got Pokemon contests, you got Game Corner, you got fucking Battle Frontier, Battle Royale, Battle House. Fucking Battle Royale's not in the game. Don't quote me on that. Fucking Elite Four twice. There was so much shit in that game that they even said, like, hey, man, there's a lot of stuff in this game. Should we cut some content? And the devs were like, no, we want to give the people the best Pokemon experience they possibly can. And it seems like they've just done a 180 on that and gone like, yeah, I don't really want to do that. Like, no national decks, fucking... I guarantee you, based on Sun and Moon, there's going to be zero endgame content to this fucking game. I guarantee it. Because I've been playing since... Like, I've played all the 3DS games. I've played Let's Go. They're not going to have any endgame content. All of it's going to be pushed up front to, like, look at this new region. And look at Dynamaxing. You can Dynamax. You can make your Pokemon 17 stories tall. And it'll fucking overheat your Switch because we used all our graphics on that. But we can't put all the Pokemon in the game that's called Gotta Catch 'Em All. Can't do that. Nope. And like all those other endgame features, like we're not gonna do that either. No Battle Frontier or any of that shit. Sorry, can't do it. We're small indie Nintendo. Can't do it.
You know, one of the things though I think with Nintendo, like, and this is again not to defend, this is actually kind of meant as like a slap at them, but Pokemon, when you look at the history of it, they release, what is it, every like 2 years? Like there is something, or is it 3?
Generally every 3 years. However, the last 4 years they've put a game out every year, which I think is part of the problem.
And that's where I was kind of
there's definitely a crunch there where Nintendo's like, you gotta make more Pokemon. And Game Freak's like,
that's kind of what I was getting
so
at.
much
like,
money.
I'm thinking about the quality of Assassin's Creed as it just went down and down and down.
But that doesn't matter. If you have the money, you can buy as many people as you need. Who cares?
That's a good counterpoint.
Like, so what?
You know, though, they straight up teach in like engineering school and like business management that way that you can't guarantee that like putting more people onto something will fix the problem. You need the right people, and you need
not putting more people on it didn't work either. So let's.
I'm just saying though, right? It's like
proved
maybe because some of the later Assassin's Creeds, like they got better, like they got a lot worse, and then they kind of picked up. Like some games, like Call of Duty,
I think like 4 was like one of the highest rated Assassin's Creed, the one where you could be a pirate. Like they really pulled out all the stops for that one, and then they went back to making bad ones. But like that one was good.
That one was good.
I don't know what
I guess Assassin's Creed hasn't done anything crazy in a while, but like they've been pumping them out. I think that's the problem. Is they say it's about spreading resources, but it's probably that because instead of animating all 1,000 Pokemon, they created Let's Go Pikachu instead. And instead of doing like whatever, what was it? What came out before Let's Go Pikachu?
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Right. So instead of doing this, they made Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And I bet you instead of having it like properly with like, you know, giving people enough time, I think it was entirely a time crunch. Like Legend of Zelda, there's huge time gaps in between, and they're given that time to like polish. And it's one of those games where they pretty much delay it to get it to that polish. But Pokemon, this seems to be one where they're just like pumping them out,
which sucks, man.
And I'm not using that as a defense. I'm literally just using that as like.
No, I think it's definitely a big reason why, man. But like, again, they're a clean $10 billion above Hello Kitty for the #1 spot in like amount of money they fucking make. $90 billion of Pokemon stuff in 20 years. Like, that's insane. That's fucking crazy, dude. It's $60 billion above Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's with box office sales. Like, free and clear.
60 billion above Marvel.
Yeah, and we were just talking about, oh, Marvel's got that quality, that good movie stuff. And fucking Pokemon can't put all the Pokemon in the game? They can't give me a game that doesn't have N64 trees? Come on, bro.
I mean, I'm with all the other people that just like, I'd love to see Pokemon just not create a game for 5 years and then just come out with like fucking Breath of the Wild of Pokemon, where it's just like, oh my god, this game is so good. I mean, I couldn't really get into it because I'm not that big into that genre, but you know what I mean? Like come out with that Breath of the Wild quality.
Yeah, because what was the gap for Breath of the Wild? Like it must have been a long time if I remember right.
It was quite a ways. What was the last one before that?
The last one before that was Hyrule Warriors, which I don't even think was like a really
I don't really count that. I'm thinking like actual main like Legend of Zelda installments.
Main one would have
Non
been
Game Boy 2D, like what, like the big, Skyward Sword.
either Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess.
Skyward Sword was after Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but I don't remember Skyward Sword. That's my problem. I don't remember how like involved that shit was. What was Skyward Sword? Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Oh no, that was definitely a game that came out. 2011. That came out.
So they had like 6 years between them. Like, I'd love to see Pokemon. The thing is with Pokemon though, they can't do that because they need to keep it at the youngest generation and hook them in. So if you wait 6 years, right? Like, Legend of Zelda can seemingly do that and catch all these different audiences with Pokemon. If you just keep them pumping out, you keep the 5-year-olds.
This is the weird thing.
That don't notice the shitty trees.
Because that's the thing. I've been to Japan, and you know the Pokemon that they sell the most of, like just based off going to Pokemon centers. We went a couple different ones, Matt and I. Right? It's fucking Gengar. Weirdly, did not expect that one at all. Pikachu and Snorlax, and then even the new ones are off in the fucking corner. Those ones have been around for no one gives a fuck. Just keep releasing merch for that. Like
that's probably where Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee came in.
Yeah, and again, that's 151 models you don't have to redo. Just fucking port the assets over, brother. Which is exactly what they did. It's, I'd understand. I don't know. I sent another link in chat there of like that's like their tail whip animation, and they literally just rotate a fucking model, like it's like they're in AutoCAD Inventor, and they're just like just moving it. So, I mean, you get like shit like that in the game, and I'm going like, yeah, this is a little disingenuous. Like this seems like you're like that looks terrible, right? That does not look good. Like you gotta give me something.
Though,
a little bit.
If this game gets shit on, we might see the next one be good. Like we might need, like, it's been this steady decline where people have been kind of letting it slide, and then you got to hit this point where it just like gets fucking destroyed, and then maybe on that, if we vote with our wallets, which I'm not going to, I'm gonna buy the fucking game.
Don't pre-order it. Just don't buy the double pack with the fucking new Nintendo Switch on it. Just like get it used or something. I don't fucking know. Like
it kind of comes into that 20. I mean, the Pokemon's a lot more than a 20% profit margin, but it comes down to that 20% profit margin conversation where it's like somebody at Nintendo is probably just like, dude, as long as it's Pokemon on it, like we will make fucking billions of dollars. So just fucking go, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, quality drop, whatever, right? Like,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? And it pains me because like I genuinely love Pokemon, and I've been looking forward for years to being able to just like sit down with a controller on my couch and play an actual Pokemon game on my TV, not like Stadium or XD Gale of Dark. I can't believe they called the game Pokemon XD. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was pre XD internet meme, but like damn. All right, I still own that game. It's good, but like I wanted to sit down at a TV, play a full-fledged Pokemon game, and it hurts to think like, fuck this one, and I bet you it's gonna be full of cutscenes that I can't skip, just like Sun and Moon, and I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
I actually like Sun and Moon. Like it had moments, and I liked many of the Pokemon, and I liked much of like the making my team. I think I had some of the most fun creating my team. But I think it was by far probably one of my least favorites when it came through, of just like collecting all the gym badges.
I didn't think you couldn't take 2 steps without a character popping out of the bushes like, "Hey, let me show you this mechanic." Like, fuck off. Give me a difficult. Give me I've been playing this game for 20 years. I don't need you to hold my hand. Give me that option on the selection menu. Even if it's like a secret one, just like the fuck off option. Just like I'll figure it out. I'm an adult. If I need help, I'll fucking figure it out. I don't need, and they had that shit in Black and White, they had a difficulty setting where you could beat the game on normal and go back and say, okay, now give me New Game Plus, and it's actually hard. And it was a difficult fucking game. And they took that shit away. Motherfucking, I think it was Gen 6, X and Y. They were like, I liked X and Y, but I remember thinking, like, this is Pokemon for babies. I had a full team of 6 Pokemon that I didn't catch that was just given to me by the time I got to, like, the 3rd gym. I had, like, Aerodactyl, Lucario, fucking, like, 2 starter Pokemon, and I think there was, like, a Snorlax in there, too. It's like, damn, X and Y. Why you giving me so many Pokemon? I remember back in Ruby Sapphire, like, you had to earn that shit. Like, good luck catching a fucking Shroomish. Get lucky. But
Red and Blue did not hold your hand.
no, I would argue up to X and Y didn't hold your hand. And then they just ported it to 3DS, and it was, I understand that it's a kid's game franchise, but I think even if I was a kid, I'd be kind of insulted with how easy these games are becoming,
The only fun that really kind of kept in it was playing friends. And I think that's part of the reason that despite, like, honest to God, if it wasn't for this fucking podcast, I probably wouldn't have actually bought Sword and Shield. I almost didn't buy X and Y. I almost didn't buy Black and White. And I almost didn't buy Sun and Moon. And my sister begged me to buy it and play it with her. Yeah. And I think X and Y, I didn't even get to the Elite Four. I was rather disappointed with it. Sun and Moon, I beat the Elite Four, got my team somewhat set up, kicked my sister's ass 4 or 5 times, and then traded the game in. I haven't been that invested in the new Pokemons for a while. But then Sword and Shield has me excited because where the magic from Pokemon was for me was playing like Silver and Gold and having all of your friends playing Silver and Gold, and then like versing all of your friends at school, like even in high school, we're sitting there playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards and we'll have a Pokemon battle. Like that was, it had a lot more fun. Like Diamond and Pearl was by far my favorite because there was like a community of about 6 or 7 of us playing. And then everything else after that was just like, cool, I'm like living in a different city off on my own, really don't have anybody that plays Pokemon, and the only thing I could do with it was wireless battle my sister until she got angry and refused to play me anymore.
My sister still won't play me. after all these years.
I think out of all of the problems that this game has, and it's not going to meet up to the potential that we know Nintendo can make. I can't shake that excitement that, oh man, I'm going to play with like you and Vio and Kyle and all the whammies that have it. We'll have we'll set up a Pokemon chat in the Discord. We'll trade. We'll battle. Even if it's only for like a couple of months until the energy kind of dies out, like that. I can't shake that excitement. And all bad news that comes to it, I don't care because I'm not going to play long enough to capture 1,000 Pokemon. And every time I play it, I always try to make my team region based anyway. Like I maybe one, like when I do it, I always make a region based team. And then if I can only fill like 5 that I really like, then maybe I'll reach out. And so the national deck side, like, don't give a shit.
I always try and complete both Pokedexes if I can. That is part of the fun for me.
I got mad when I think Diamond and Pearl was it or Black and White made me see every Pokemon to complete the decks, like not even own before I unlocked the national decks, because I just wanted to get to the point where I could then make my team and verse a few people, and it pissed me off.
It should be mandatory, but like, damn, like, give me the option at least. Fuck, like that's like the whole thing. The professor's like, here's your Pokedex. Go out and see all the Pokemon. You're like, okay, cool, but there's like 300 others just like scattered somewhere else, and well, I don't care about those ones. Whatever, brother. Like, I am upset with the decline of Game Freak. I hope this game's a wake up call for them. I doubt it will be. They're still gonna make a shit ton of money.
How do you have a wake up call when it's like if your ratings go from 9.5 to 7,
we don't care.
But you make 29 billion instead of 30, like on that particular game, you're like, oh no, like until you see a massive drop because people aren't buying it, which probably means 2 or 3 shit games in a row, which maybe this one is the third kind of declining game in a row if you think back on its history.
Yeah.
But then even then you're just like, is the lesson just to pay the reviewers more money? You know what I mean? Like we all know that it's like when I used to read IGN reviews and people said I don't trust IGN reviews. I said no. So you have to read them because there was actually some decent information in them. This was back before all the YouTube reviewers really was a big thing. And I knew it was total bullshit, right? I would be excited for a JRPG, some fucking Atlas game or something. I would check the IGN review of it. I would look at the gameplay, the mechanics, and then feel out their kind of review on their story. And then I would know that this is not being measured on a scale of 1 to 10. This is being measured on a scale of 1 to 8. And if this game got a 7, it was actually a really fucking good JRPG. You know,
True.
because you will never, if they scored an 8 on story, you're like, this is an amazing anime, like, JRPG story, because they didn't pay IGN to get the 9 and 10, right?
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They were just like, here it is. The thing with Pokemon too is like the Japanese fans are also pissed. So a lot of the time, like with Nintendo, if North American fans are mad, like with Nintendo Online, like I'm still mad that I can't play Smash with you guys, and it's not like I'm playing out of McDonald's. Okay, it's terrible. I know my internet's bad, but damn, I can play Smite with you guys with like little to no issues. You know, fucking. A lot of times North American fans get mad, but the Japanese fans are like, I don't really care. This time, Japan is pissed. They're rising up. The Japanese gamers are rising up with us, and they're like, no, what are my fucking Pokemon? Give me my Pokemon, Game Freak. And they're like, and they released a statement and basically said, nah. That was their state. They're like, no, we're not doing that. Please understand.
So maybe we'll actually see something come out of it. Like
if Japan
Pokemon
stays
game...
mad, hopefully, that's like the key. Japan's got to stay pissed. Japan's got to stay mad. If they stay mad, we're good. If they don't stay mad, unlucky. We're getting Ultra Sword and Shield, Weeaboo Saber version or something, and it's gonna be just as bad.
I think I'm done with the Pokemon chat. The only kind of final thought I want to have on it is, despite any issues with graphics, anything, the thing I hate the most is everything I've seen about the Dynamaxing.
It's so dumb. So dumb.
Ultra Evolution, 2 thumbs up. Or Mega or whatever it was. Dynamaxing,
thumbs down.
Maybe it can change my mind.
No.
But from what I saw in the trailers, that's a big 2 thumbs down from me. Honest to God, you could downgrade that tree even lower, but then give me something better than Dynamaxing. I'll be content with it.
For real. It's like we got to put a new gimmick in every game. No, you don't. You got Megas already. Put Megas in. Megas were dope because that made old Pokemon exciting again. Oh fuck, I've had Charizard in my party for the last 20 years, and I know what I get with a Charizard. But oh shit, this Charizard's black, and he's got blue flames. That's fucking sick. I'm gonna have a Charizard immediately. Like, again, but this Pokemon, now he's just bigger. Oh, okay. Thanks. And it's not even, that's the other thing. It's not all the Pokemon. So I'm gonna use Charizard as an example again. It's not like every Charizard can be a Mega Charizard, but only very specific Charizards can be a Dynamax Charizard. You have to be in that like a certain member of that Charizard species to Dynamax. So it's not like you can just catch a fucking Charmander and then that one could Dynamax. Like, it has to meet certain conditions. So it's even more specific than fucking Mega Evolutions. Which is so dumb. Why?
You know what? If they wanted to add a new mechanic, they should just do something cool with the abilities. Like really just like spice up the abilities. Because I've had a psychic Pokemon that uses psychic for fucking like 9 generations, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
Why don't how have we made it this far in, and Magic the Gathering within the first 10 years realized that dual colored cards were cool? Like, why don't we have I don't know, dual fucking element spells that have like this whole weird calculation, or like, you know, it hits with one thing and then does another, like more, I don't know, like something. Anything's better than fucking Dynamaxing, right? Like
Yep.
fusion. I mean, I feel like that opens up all kinds of moral things within Pokemon, but like Digimon was dope for its fusions, right? Like dual battles, but then you could temporarily fuse into something. I don't know. Like all of that is cooler than fucking Dynamaxing.
What if we take a
But they're
Pokemon?
bigger.
What if we just make it bigger? Fuck.
All right.
And yeah, okay. It's been almost 2 hours. We gotta do this community challenge. I was gonna yell about other
You
stuff.
can get
but-
started. I have to go to the bathroom. So fucking.
I'm taking 2 minutes. I'm
We
moving.
need
to
a
different
2-minute piss
franchise
break.
quick.
And there's where you cut.
Okay.
All right. So, speaking of long-running franchises,
Mhm.
gameplay for the new Call of Duty came out this week. Flint, did you
Yes.
experience-
I did. It looks
Yeah.
fucking
Oh my
amazing.
fuck. Hell yeah! Okay, if you haven't seen it, it's the gameplay. They pretty much just showed some 2v2. They had a couple streamers come in house, and it's just like maybe 2 hours of footage. So check out Legion Queen, Courage. I think I don't remember the others, but there's like 4 streamers they had there. Google it, you'll find it. You'll find the footage. If not, add us. We'll send you the VOD. So, Flint, when they said they were bringing a new engine, they weren't kidding.
No, it looks
'Cause, like,
amazing, dude. It looks
I
amazing.
think Ghost was the first time they're like, we're doing a new engine, and we know how that went. So when they announced they were
Not
using a new
great.
engine for this, yes, that is the first thing I thought of, and I was so worried. I was like, I mean, it could just be the same dog shit we've been seeing. So what if they say it's a new engine? But man, that looked sick. That looked fucking sick. And 2v2s alone, like, they better not be teasing. That's just customs. That better be official mode, because I have not gotten to enjoy 2v2s since Modern Warfare 3. And
Are we
2v2s
sweating?
were insane.
Are we sweating when it
Dude,
comes out?
Hell yeah, we're sweating. I love 2v2s. I was so try hard. I mean, I was trying in general, but
Wait, are you guys doing a
2v2s
community
was
challenge?
the
Oh, we're not
jam.
doing a break.
No,
No,
it's fine.
Okay.
Trevor,
going
Trevor wants,
eating
Trevor wants to
crackers?
yell about Call of Duty. Just fucking munch him, brother. It's okay. I'll quiet
I'm
him.
eating crackers and I'm like, shit, are they recording?
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry
So
about
mute yourself, you freaking forehead. So the 2v2 sweat's coming. I'm. Uh-oh. Wait, Flint, did you mute yourself?
No, I just saw Brian pull a mason jar and I was like, is he drinking water out of a jar?
Oh.
It just threw me for a loop. I was just
Yep.
okay. Just making sure.
Okay, these mason jars. My wife's like, I hate drinking out of mason jars. Right? She prefers a cup. Except she's got like 3 mason jars that she gets mad at me when I use because they're the biggest cups in the house and she likes to fill a tall glass of water. So she complains about the mason jars because they're tacky and whatever, but then she's got her designated mason jars and I'm using one right now.
Got him. All right, sorry, Trevor. I interrupted. Just, the jar threw me off. Keep going. I want to hear about this Call of Duty.
The-
Let's fucking speedrun this.
So, gun-wise, I kind of don't care. I wasn't concerned about guns. Graphically, though, I mean, it looked pretty sick.
Mm.
The animations, I'm not. I kind of am sold on it, but at the same time, like, if anything goes wrong from here on out, I could just as instantly be, completely turned off by the game. But I'm at least excited. At least excited. I need a shooter that I want to feel reinvigorated with. You and I have been going back and forth on that for
A
a
couple
quick
days
minute.
now. Yeah. Of
Well,
like.
and even before that, we
Yeah.
tried Apex for a long time. That didn't work. We tried Splitgate. We tried some things more recently. It didn't work out as well. But I don't know. I want to have that fun again. I want to grind a shooter as much as I grind Smite, and it not be for just like a couple weeks like Apex. I want to be that. I want to have that feeling of like I watch a stream, and and then I'm just like I want to go home instantly. I want to go and play it all day, and then the next day I wake up and then the feeling's still there. I'm still not satisfied. That insatiable hunger to like keep on grinding with a shooter. Smite's fun and all, but I need that shooter again.
I was just saying, I'm literally like looking at League of Legends and thinking about getting back into it, and I don't know why. It's been 4 years. I feel like I'm gonna play one game, have Yasuo, and uninstall it again. But I could not get into Summoner's Rift. It's kind of trying to get to the same feeling you're talking about. Could not get to Summoner's Rift. Didn't really want to be like some of the alternate game modes. As soon as Teamfight Tactics is out, I want to play that, and then I want to play like Summoner's Rift again. Like I've always said, I think part of the reason I could never get into Conquest is because I always thought Summoner's Rift was just 100 times better. Anyway, I kind of want to, like, I've had this craving to just like I just want to go play this, and Monster Hunter's given me that a little bit, but I miss some of that competitive, like, want to go stream, study. I'm playing Monster Hunter and I'm just farming up the monsters, and I just don't have that desire to like study. And that's what I kind of miss is like Smite and League of Legends gave me that like study the game desire. Kind of you were talking about with the watching the streams and then go back to it.
I feel you.
True.
I hope Call of Duty fills that. Flint, you want to pick out anything on it? I don't want to go too in depth on the Call of Duty.
Honestly, man, hit all the buttons that I want to hit. I'm excited. Black Ops 4 for me was like the start of the hype, but it didn't really hit where I wanted it to hit. Didn't scratch that itch.
It was just good enough where I didn't hate my purchase. I enjoyed the time I played on it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but I was like, this isn't revolutionary. I'm hoping that this blows me out of the water and I'm 12 again, fucking yelling at people on Xbox Live. I hope that's where it lands me. Hope that's where it lands me. But
bring back the crunchy MW2 lobbies mics. Come on, brother.
Yeah, people blasting rap music in the background of their shitty speaker systems. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's get this community challenge out of the way, boys.
Yeah. What is community challenge again this week?
What game do you put your try-hard pants on for? Oh, it's just gonna be awkward because I haven't been gaming hardcore in quite a while. Trevor, I don't know if you want to read these motherfuckers off. You made the challenge.
I did not. This was actually
This was Dep Nation. That's right. Dep Nation, our guest from last week, made this dank-ass challenge, and he put a challenge in. We only got a couple. I'll read them off, and then we can give our opinion. Then we can pimp ourselves out, and then we can cash money our way out of here. So, Depicus Nation says, I would put my try-hard pants on for ranked Rocket League. Not what I expected. I thought he was going to say Smite. At one point, I wouldn't play with some of my friends because they were weak.
Ooh.
Fuck. I dropped a division in a party with some friends, and I just left. No warning. Just hangs up. Even now, I want to be party leader so they can't wreck my ranked MMR. Damn, bruh. That's ice cold. Imagine, have a shitty game, come home after a long day of work, and your buddy's like, nope, never again. Can't risk it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've been there.
I've done that.
Like I was chatting a little bit earlier about how my interest in League of Legends is somehow regrowing, and I had a friend who, he'd want to play ranked. He's like, oh, let's play ranked together, and it was just like, fuck no, like no way in hell. Let's go play some like not ranked games. I did it a little, not so much in Smite. Most of the guys I played with, they were pretty good skill, but when I was playing League, man, like, oh my god, that guy was so bad. Was so unbearably bad. And this was before I think they put like the limitations on party queuing. Like maybe League never did that. Maybe that was only a Smite thing. And it was just like, let's play ranked, because he's like, I'm way better than him, and he wanted me to kind of help him with this ranked MMR. And I'm like, please God, no. I don't want you tanking mine. Right? Like, we'll end up in a game somewhere in between where I'll do well and you'll do bad, and it's like, I don't know how this will turn out. Like, is your bad gonna throw the whole game, or is the difference in skill between the average you know, I liked that split in solo or in non-ranked queue because snowball hard one way or the other, and it was fun that way. But I get that feeling, man. I had some people I would not queue ranked with in League.
True. All right.
We got Big Oso. Let's see. I'll take this one.
All right.
For me, it's any PvP game really. Squad, Smite, Mordhau, hell, even Monster Hunter. If I'm playing with and or against people and there's some metric I can compare my performance with, I'm after it. Squad, it's score or KD, or insane accomplishment like going through all around and a striker without dying, or holding down a flag point after my squad gets wiped and it's just me, my machine gun, and 9, a full squad, enemy players trying to hunt and kill me while I take the point. In Smite, I have to be fed, stealing enemy farm, maximizing the XP per minute so I can be a bigger asset. Having all 4 spots on the T screen, in Mordhau being in the top 3 of a duel or frontline match, and Monster Hunter having top damage and setting the traps for maximum monster domination and clear times. These are what I looked for in games. They put a smile on my face as well as keep me excited for games. If I want a relaxing game, I play turn-based strategy games where I can watch a show at the same time and spend 30 minutes on a single turn, or an RPG where I can explore the world looking for loot chests around the world. I don't tend to play hard single-player games like Dark Souls. If I want a hard game, it needs to be against other players. In other words, I'm always at least low-key sweaty. And when the matches are close, I'm high-key sweaty. I feel that. I feel the fuck out of that. Except for I'm not super into turn-based strategy. I feel that on RPGs. But if anything, I just play like shittier PvP games if I want to relax, like stuff that is just like low quality, not necessarily mechanics, but just like graphics or something, like, you know, maybe like 1,000 people are on the game.
Something you're not invested into, where you just don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like
Dino D-Day. There we go. Easy. Fucking Nazi zombie killing, or Nazi dino killing.
Oh my god. Fuck Dino D-Day, dude.
Dude, Dino D-Day is the classic. Come on, brother.
Oh, come on, dude.
Dude, there's our shooter. We need to go play that.
I have it installed, dude.
I have it too.
Oh,
brother.
No.
There's our game. Thanks, Big O. So now we're gonna go play Dino D-Day. Flint's really happy about it.
I'm not happy about it at all.
Let's see. We got Coffin Monkey. Games I try hard pants in. When Nev and I get in a losing streak, I make her try hard joust with me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Blink Cabber all day. Sometimes we even win with Dep Nation. Edit. Also, Stardew Valley. My girlfriend actually just found a box and opened it and asked what all these charts and printed out spreadsheets. She was super concerned. Well, it was my Stardew Valley worksheets. You think I was somebody's DM with all the handmade charts, cheat sheets, and diagrams I have. I can't comment on the Stardew Valley part, but Jesus Christ, playing you can't try hard joust. All right, I mean, if you're an absolute masochist, you can try hard joust, or if you're Defined Pride, one of the two. But I'm pretty sure Defined Pride is a masochist, so like it overlaps. Fuck that game mode. Oh my god, holy cow, that's maximum sweat. I can feel your sweat from here. Oh, brother. Let's see. Snorlax Hunter 64. Got a big group of friends that play Smite pretty casually on PS4. Ranked Joust is our jam. Oh, brother. We're going right back into it again. Every once in a while, we'll do a 3v3 against each other on Joust map, and everyone breaks out the tryhard pants. Have a friend that never buys wards, and in game against me, will buy like 10 century wards. I also go big, try hard in Mortal Kombat 11. We get a group of 4 or 5 of us in a King of the Hill lobby. Really fun when everyone spectates your fight. Brother, all I gotta say about the joust is, I mean, get therapy. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. It's don't do that to yourself. It's suicidal.
Don't do that. Right.
I mean, like in casuals, you know, it's it's we've done some casual 3v3 joust, and man, I think that might be sweatier than ranked joust, especially because like we'll do random god, so it's even worse. Like the sweat is just terrible. It is, and at the end of the day, the worst part of it is you can't baby rage about it, because if you baby rage, you're in call with the other team. So it's just, and they're gonna gas you for fucking weeks if you do. Oh my god, please no.
Yeah, fucking ranked joust. Literally, every time I'm like, but I could have a full team of my friends. Like, yeah, but they won't be my friends after the end of our ranked joust session. Because I'll be so fucking mad. I'll have to go for a nap, dude. Yeah, go for a nap, you know? Cool off. Smoke some of that Trudeau Kush. God damn.
Hell yeah.
I've definitely lost Smite friends when we all decided we were gonna play ranked joust. Like before I met Matt and Trevor, it was right around the time I was meeting Trevor actually back in Smite. There was this kid who he had some name. It was just like basketball player or some shit. I can't remember. I remember his first name, but I feel like I won't call him out this time.
Jigs?
And
That's the only person I can think of.
who?
Jigs?
No, it was before Jigs.
Oh, okay.
It was actually around that time. I can't remember. I think I met you. Did I meet you before or after Derek? I can't remember.
After.
Okay, yeah. So, like one of the first people I met, fuck it, his name was Justin. I don't remember what his in-game name was. And me and him, we were playing, we were queuing up a bunch. I was always playing a lot of arena, and we went to arena. I got pretty good at it. I know like the MMR was all weird, and I got unbelievably sweaty try hard in arena back in the day, right? All the time. So I'd always have these crazy high scores in arena. And then when we made friends with Derek, the YouTuber we were hanging out with at the time, Shivoki, was hosting like a ranked joust tournament. Or not ranked, but like a joust tournament he was going to host. And it was going to be me, Justin, and Jigs. So you remember Jigs. And we got going in, and we had this team comp. We all discussed this team comp, right? This was like that angry, kind of sweaty kind of side. And we discussed our team comp. This is what we're going to do. And it was just at the start of like season 3, I think. And so there was a bunch of balance changes, right? Tons of balance changes. Hell, that's what seasons do. And so he happened to be team lead at the time, and we were practicing ranked joust so that we could get ready for this tournament that Shivoki was going to host. And me and Jigs were like, "You need to ban this person. Like, you need to ban." I think it was like Odin, because we were running like this other comp. And we had everybody agreed on the bans. We got in, and the guy made all these season 2 bans. And then the characters that completely countered the team comp we were working on all got picked.
Oh no.
And then we got in, and we said, okay, here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. And then he went and picked something completely different. And he was mad at us for like not going. Like he just basically, we had a whole game plan, hit Q. He completely changed his mind and wanted everybody to do what he wanted to do. And then we got into the game. He then ran in, and like I'd been playing this game with this guy for like 2 months. He just like dove in and died, like 1v3, and then screamed at us. And then we were like, "What the fuck?" And then I ended up inviting Derek to the team, and then it was me, Derek, and Jigs that played. And then that's actually where we all like. That's where me and Derek started becoming friends. Was like when we joined teams for that tournament. And we made it decently far in this cheap tournament. But Derek was like totally a team player. But yeah, I just remember that kid like got super mad, and like because he just decided we had a different strategy, and he was mad at us for not following it. Then he died like once, and then all of a sudden like 2 months of friendship was just like destroyed in like your almost stereotypical like ranked argument.
The fuck,
and it was like the fuck are you doing, bro? Learn to fucking play this game. And it was just like, yeah, I remember getting ranked, try hard ranked joust, and yeah, When you play ranked Joust, you destroy friendships. You don't
You don't form
100%.
bond together.
You know,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
That's
maybe.
not an opinion. That's a fact.
like,
That's facts. That's car
Oh,
facts right
brother.
there.
All right, let's see. So we are on Kurt, dude. I'm turning into Kyle. Oh, brother. I'm turning into Kyle, and I'm actually quite happy about this one. I used to try hard, for Smite. Now that I left it, I haven't really gotten sweaty about anything else besides Smash, and I haven't played Smash in a couple of months. I'm super happy with just chilling and relaxing during games. You know, good for you, man. You've
That's a good
gotten out of
spot
this
to be.
hell. That is
It's gamer hell.
that is sweat. Yeah.
dude, I've been doing that since I quit Smite and we started SQA, and now the fucking shakes are coming, and I need that competitive. Like, I need it again.
All right, let's get on Fortnite then. Hell yeah.
Absolutely not.
I don't need it that bad.
Put a gun to my Tim Sweeney could put a gun to my head himself, and I wouldn't fucking play Fortnite.
What is a worse corridor for me to walk down? Fucking the League of Legends one again, like I'm currently doing, or Fortnite?
Oh,
League of Legends, 100%.
Fortnite's the worst path, dude. Absolutely.
Fortnite's got dances. Come on, brother.
Fucking shooters, man. That game feels like League of Legends. It's like, look, I'll probably get mad, like Smite level mad, but I feel like Fortnite. I think I've discussed it before. It's just the kind of game where it's just like I have zero interest in just dying all the time and accomplishing nothing.
Yeah. Ain't no
Well,
respawn.
Especially when
welcome to
I'm
me and
Terrible at shooters
Rising
to
Storm.
begin with.
Yeah, you all want to play Rise and Storm, dude. That's gonna I'll fucking send you over the moon. Trevor and I played that just like as a primer for when Bryce is on, so we can all run through the jungle. And you die from like 200 meters out, and you're like, I don't even know what hit me. I'm just dead. That sucks. That's unlucky. Or
There was literally like 15 minutes of that. I didn't get a single kill. I barely saw somebody.
No.
I was so mad because it's like I wasn't trying to be tryhard, but I just want to play the game.
Because the
We
game,
had that
once you
whole-
start playing, it was fun. It's just like getting to that
Yes.
point. You're like, oh.
There's that whole point where there's this. All right, if you never played Rising Storm, it's a shooter based in Vietnam. And there's this one game mode where like the Americans have to helicopter off this island. You can only get off the island by helicopter to get to the mainland beach, and then you have to capture the beach, and then it's like, capture point from there. But the key is you have to get on the beach, you have to live, and then you have to cap that first point to really start off. So the first round's like 30 minutes long. Our team couldn't cap the first point. 30 minutes of us getting in the helicopters,
On our forehead
going
pilots.
across the fucking water. Yeah, before it pilots. And most of the time, you just got shot out of the helicopter, and you're like, all right, I wait for a helicopter to spawn, I get in, I die. I wait for a helicopter to spawn in, I get in, I wait, and I die. I only landed once in 30 minutes, and I killed 5 people. And then I died, and I was like, oh, all right, back to helicopter queue. Be right back.
Yeah, you would
God
literally.
damn it!
You'd literally sit and we're telling the helicopter pilots, dude, don't land on the beach, cause there's no cover. It's just beach, and they have a fucking machine gun set up to just mow us down. Don't land there. They're like, oh, you mean land on the beach for the 6th time in a row? All right. I'm like, bro!
Dude,
Just screaming at
I
him.
went from trying to be casual to instantly being sweaty and mad. Oh my god.
and then when we got to
Just when you
defend the
think you're
beach, our
out.
teammates were like, no, we're not gonna defend that.
Forehead. Actual Papegas.
We're like, bro,
Oh my
come
God.
on. Oh, that was actually rage inducing. Now I'm thinking about it, back about it. I was trying not to be mad, but I was like,
Yes.
I wanted to like,
I was hungry and I was mad.
I was like Googling like how to fly the helicopter because I was this fucking close to just hopping in and doing it. Because like you guys don't actually understand how man, imagine running up a beach with no cover and you're just getting mowed down for no reason. When there's a field with trees over there and you can just land in that field and there's cover immediately. So we might
a
live.
second.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Have
Are you a general?
I'm
That's
gonna,
some holy shit, that's some high tier fucking knowledge.
Hey, I
Jesus
might have to take the general role just for shits and giggles one time. Just like, all right, boys.
You fucking Papegas, go over here. All
Just General Gleason. All right, let's finish this community challenge up. We're
Yeah,
like fucking.
I'm about to
2:30.
go into you.
I've been telling
Before I
funny
get into
stories,
you,
but I got my own one for after this.
all right, I gotta do a send off for my boy Matt on our closeout. So don't close me out too fast when we get past these next two comments, Flint, because
All right.
I gotta let him go. So into the comments. I was not going to answer because my most tryhard games are mostly single player RPGs where I turn difficulty up as high as I can by either special rules like Pokemon
Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke challenge. Thank you. Where the Pokemon stay dead or min-maxing everything as much as I can. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, comment, dude. That's what we're asking for. It doesn't have to be multiplayer. It ain't no big. I mean, if that's where you get sweaty, that's where you get sweaty. That's how it used to be for the longest time. I used to only get sweaty in single players. So respect. And obviously Flint's got that Pokemon respect.
National Dex, baby. Give it to me. Give
Jesus
me
Christ.
all 1,000 Pokemon. I can only use 6 at a time, but I want all of them.
I didn't mean the trigger. God damn it. All right. Big Rick. I have to put on my tryhard pants for NFL Blitz 2000. That's all right. That's not what I expected to read. I have a reputation uptold, and the thrill of body slamming a sacked quarterback. Well, after the whistle, let your opponent know you are the alpha. True story. I once beat my old man 121-12 in Blitz. He didn't quit out of principle, but he did throw the controller when the clock hit 0 and said he'd only play Mario Golf with me from then on. Obligatory, not me, but my dad gets super sweaty on Mario Golf. You know what?
That's a 2
My
for
dad
1.
got super sweaty
Dude.
on Mario Golf.
Hell yeah.
That's a true dad right there. Hell yeah.
Dude, can I put my dad in real quick too then?
Yeah,
And,
go for it.
and any driving related games. So I specifically remember there was 2. There was Rage and there was Shadow of Mordor. Watching him trying to do the driving missions and him like almost snapping the controller in half out of just pure rage.
I've been there a million times.
And it's always like a time trial. Like I think if you played Shadow of Mordor, it was Caragors, right? So you're basically riding I don't even know what it is. It's a Caragor. Look it up. It's like a fucking carnivorous horse. Okay? And he's trying to ride that like through the fucking like Mordor, and he's just like hitting levels of anger I've never seen out of him. I'm like, damn. And usually like we're playing and he's laughing and joking. I'm like, oh, you should try going that way. He's like, I'm fucking trying that, Flint, but it's not going that way. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'll walk that one back. I think he dead ass bought a new TV for Shadow of Mordor because he couldn't read the text on the fucking game. We had like a tube TV, and then he went out and got that one because he's like, I can't read this. Fuck it, we're buying a new TV because I can't handle it anymore.
I can't handle this.
Once you make the transition, you'll never go back.
Oh, for sure.
I used CRT for so long, and once I switched to flat, I was like, fuck, here we go.
Once you can actually read all the text and it's in HD, and you're like, damn, looking good, dude. How did I ever play like this before? It's like going to like PC and everything's in like 120 frames. And you're like, damn,
What the fuck have I been doing?
Oh man, I've been playing. I used to play Smite on fucking back in the VE2 days. I think I was playing Smite on like 30 FPS on PC.
Aiden, poor Aiden.
Oh, poor Aiden.
Playing on like laptop on fire.
All right, so I'll share my I don't know if it was one of the most like sweaty gaming moments. So this was back in like 2002, and I was 13, 14, and my cousin, he was my older cousin, and I always used to look up to him. Right? You always kind of looked up to your older cousin, even though I was significantly taller than him and I actually looked down at him. But you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. All right.
And but I always kind of looked up to him. But when we got into our teenage years, right, I went the route of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon, and he went the route of drugs and alcohol.
Oh,
And
that's not the route. I thought you were gonna say sports or something. Uh-oh.
well, he was also big into sports. He's majored into hockey. I've talked about my cousin before,
Sure.
right? He's the guy I gave a shout out to, I think, earlier last year because he's on like 2 years sobriety, 2.5 years sobriety, and he's like a major
Good for you, brother.
like advocate for it. It almost killed him.
Yeah. Clap. Good job, man. Good to hear.
Yeah, like good job on that recovery. He was far deeper down that rabbit hole than I knew, but until he like, pulled himself out and started being honest about what was actually happening. But anyway, so he started to go down that route. His mom was having issues, and my dad, as some people know, we're quite opposites, right? Where I'm like techie gamer city boy, my dad is the definition of a conservative redneck, right? Like rough, gruff, big, been in trades his whole life, or used to be in the army. Conservative viewpoints, right? Like redneck, talks about guns as much as I talk about my, video games.
Sure.
Love the man though. Fantastic dad. Couldn't ask for better. And so, of course, with that, was also fairly a bit more strict, or he claimed to be strict, but I was also just such a well-behaved kid that he didn't really have to get that strict. But he said, he'd set my cousin straight. So my cousin that I'd looked up to spent, always when I went to go visit the city that he lived in, within an hour of getting the city, I wanted to go hang out with my cousin. And now he was going to live with us, with me and my dad, to try to get him away from these bad influences that had him doing drugs and alcohol. And so we're there, and of course he down to hang out with me wants to play games, and he's huge into hockey, so he rents a hockey game. And I did play some hockey games growing up, but it took me a bit to get into the game and learn the controls. And we rented like the newest one, right? At the time it would have been like NHL 2002. And then as we kind of got going, rather than just versing each other where he was kicking my ass, like just mercilessly kicking my ass, because he's been playing hockey games for the last how many years, and I didn't play like any hockey games. Very few. I think I played some on the Super Nintendo and then didn't, and then all of a sudden we're playing on the PlayStation 2 or GameCube, I think we're playing on. And so he set up a season, right? We created our teams, we traded, we built these teams. He was all super into like what players were what, and he was name dropping and built us both these teams, and then put us on like the West and East Coast divisions so that we wouldn't end up actually playing each other throughout the entirety of the division. And then we would just sit there and we would just pass the controller back and forth as we're going through these playoffs or going through the season, right? He set up a full fucking season. We played this for like 3 fucking weeks, right? Every day after school, we're playing this, passing back and forth, right? Playing and like always playing every game that our team played. And of course, in that time, I learned to play the game, but I never versed my cousin until we got to the Stanley Cup Finals. And we're playing the full fucking 7 set. And I haven't played him in like 3 weeks, and he kicked my ass mercilessly right in the beginning, kind of mocking me because I was the gamer and I was losing, right? And of course he was always kind of a tease. And man, talk about fucking sweaty games, right? Like this is 3 weeks of build-up, and now we're into the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we're versing each other, and we went to Game 7, like Game 7 and overtime before I won that game. Some of the most sweaty, intense, like have a point to prove with your older cousin, like intense gaming of my life. To the point that when we got to the Stanley Cup playoffs, my dad had been watching us do this so much. My dad didn't even want to watch TV. He just sat there watching us like, oh, and like commentating and like, oh shit, goal, right? And like he wasn't really trying to pick sides. And my dad was just like fucking popcorn munching as me and my cousin are playing like our final 7 games, right? Like, holy fuck.
Hell
yeah, it was wild.
Hell
so
yeah,
definitely
that's
my
that's your biggest
sweaty
sweat?
game moment.
I like it, man.
That's
Old school story.
Old school sweating. I like
yeah.
it. Hell yeah. All right. Mine's quick and dirty. Mario Baseball. Really, Mario Strikers or Mario Baseball. throw me in one of those.
Hell yeah.
I'm going in the paint. Hard in the paint.
I feel that.
I've had people over before, and they're like, "Oh, we'll play some Mario Baseball." Like, bro, you get in the mercy rule. I'm sorry. I can't let you walk out of here without ruining your life in Mario Baseball.
Dude, you gotta pull out that Diddy Kong.
Oh, dude. You know, I'd BM him and pull out PD Piranha. I don't even need a bat. Just
that guy.
book. Like, he never misses. The fuck, learn the matchup, I guess. Shit, I'm sorry. Sorry you suck at Mario Baseball.
Yeah, unlucky.
Turns me into this weird, angry Mario-themed monster, dude. I don't know. But hey, shit. I feel like sometimes Mario games, like the Mario sports games, are the most fun sports games because there's no pressure. Like everyone feels like everyone feels like you can just pick them up, even if you suck dick. Like NHL, like Brian's saying, like if you don't know the controls or you haven't been playing for years and years, it's not intuitive, and it's pretty intimidating for a non-sports fan to go in and want to play. And a lot of non-sports fans don't want to play anyway because it's like, well, you just make the same game every year. That's a whole other thing. But Mario, like, oh, dude, I know Mario. Baseball? Sure, I know baseball well enough. Okay, let's play some Mario Baseball, and then you just run in. But then it has enough depth where you're like, oh, I can get sweaty at this. I can try hard this. Absolutely. Like Mario Strikers, bro, I'm body checking you into that electric fence 10 times out of 10. You aren't getting by me. What do you mean that's not in soccer?
Podcast.
Hop off my dick.
I didn't think there's anyone else who would actually try hard at those games like me. Bless up for Flint.
The one that I got, the Mario sports game that I got the most sweaty in was Mario Tennis. And like the original Mario Tennis. And then that was a game that back in, the days of like a 12-year-old and like everybody talked their game of Mario Tennis. Everybody was playing it and everybody like, people, oh yeah, you really think you could take me? Like those kind of like attitudes. And then it was like, fucking let's go. Right. And I actually just played Mario usually. And it was like, let's fucking go. Right. You're back and forth fucking sweaty game in Mario Tennis. And like, I was the reigning champion of my neighborhood, I will admit. But there was like definitely some friends that like, I didn't know you played Mario Tennis. And then like their little brother, like, ooh, are you challenging? And it's like, like that whole like atmosphere.
I'm saying, man,
like, yeah, let's fucking go. And like,
that's what I want, a new Super Mario Strikers game. And they actually teased it in the new Luigi's Mansion game. They have like a poster of Super Mario.
Really?
In Luigi's Mansion 3, there's a Super Mario Strikers poster because the same dev team made Luigi's Mansion 3 that made Super Mario Strikers. Like, if it's coming, I hope Nintendo's Online can handle it because I'm gonna play that game.
Okay, here's the 3 tiers. Third tier, lowest tier. They port the old games. I'm fine with that. I'll take it every day of the week.
I'll take it.
Second tier, they come out with the one like individual game. They're like, yeah, Strikers is the most popular. We'll get that. First tier, they come out with a wombo combo game where they're like, look, we don't think we can make a $60 game out of like one of these, but you guys like baseball, soccer, and whatever they want to pick as the third. Tennis is its own game now, but they pick something else, put it in a package. Like, yeah, we just did that, dude. Holy shit, I'd lose my mind. That is like, I've not been super hyped about a lot of upcoming Nintendo releases. There's things I want, but I haven't been like enthralled with any Nintendo game to the point like I want to grind it. Smash is the closest thing that came to it, but even still, I was like 50-50 on that. Give me that Mario Striker. Baseball, I don't care. Let's
Strikers
go.
Though. Strikers.
Dude, Strikers. Electric fence, dude. God. Perfect reference. Hell yeah. Community challenge for next week. So, you guys got one? If not, I do.
I had an idea. I don't know if we've done this one before. Thinking a little bit on this try hard side, and then trying to remember whose comment it was that was talking about it. But what single player game made you fucking rage quit? Just like, I'm fucking done. I'm out. Give me the details. Did you throw a controller? Did you yell? Did you slam? Like, did something break more than your pride? Did you come back? You know, did you sell the game and just walk away from it entirely? Like, but I want to know single player games because like look, if you've told me you've never rage quit a game of Smite, I'm gonna call bullshit. We've all done it at some point. Even if you finish the match and storm off a Discord without saying anything. Like we've all done it. All right. But what single player game drove you to your breaking point?
Fortnite. I mean, it's a single player when I'm carrying everyone. I mean, what am I wrong? But Flint can't build stairs. Sorry, Flint. I didn't mean to bring up. My bad. I would
Listen, dude. I just can't do it. You know what? There's a list of skills that I have, and Fortnite stair building not among them. That sucks. But fucking, you know, I'll take it. If I have to sacrifice Fortnite stair building for like, I don't know, the ability to rip my truck apart and have it work after I'm done with it, I'll take it.
It's not worth it. No,
it's not. That's you're right. Because I don't even have to drive to like play Fortnite.
Fortnite's gonna be our new currency, dude. You just watch out. It's gonna replace the fucking dollar bill. All right. So we got our community challenge for next week. Now, there's two people who aren't here. One of them is good old Bryce, Silent Reveries. He's got family in town. No big deal. The other is a poor, hollowed out man that goes by the name of, well, he used to go by Madman Matt, but now he goes by Digman Matt. Because this foolish mortal thought he could step up to the plate. Now, if you're into the Smite Pro League, you know, you'll get this. If not, I'll try and explain. This week, the Smite Pro League had their big invitation.
Smite Pro League.
And
I'm out.
Hell yeah. You had a matchup in the semifinals where it was going to be Splice. No, it was he got it wrong.
MSI.
Yeah, no, it was the semifinals. It was this but it was the semifinals he got it wrong. Between Dignitas and Renegades. And my boy, Matt, doubled down on Dignitas so hard. I gave him a chance. Flint, did I give him a chance?
You did.
I put out my hand and I was like, dude, I don't know about that. My man doubled down. He said Dignitas is going to win it all. Guess who got 0-3'd? 3-0'd. My boy, Madman Matt, Digman Matt, crawled into a fucking hole, act like it. He had a mental disorder. He didn't remember that, Flint. He didn't remember it. He thought it was a conspiracy.
It's too much of a shock to his system, honestly.
Exactly. It was like a horror movie. Like he had that shock to the brain, and he just completely is. He's, you know, I've known him as a lot of things. Sympathetic man, Matt. Sometimes racist man, Matt. Bad man, Matt. But you know, I think he's just off his rocker now. I think we've lost him, boys. Bad man Matt, no longer.
No longer. Dig fan Matt in the chat. Rest in peace.
Bad man. Can I get it? Yeah, if you're listening to this right now, just put an F in the chat for our boy Matt. Because he jumped off that fucking cliff and he ain't coming back.
Well, on that terribly sad note, I think I'm going to walk us
I gotta
out
go
here.
cry.
All right. You want to check us out? SQApodcast.com. It's up to date as of this recording with all the new stuff. You got links to everything, Discord, audio stuff, pretty much everything you want. If you want to listen to more audio episodes, we're on SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play, every podcasting experience out there. And if we're not on one, first of all, I question your integrity because I'm pretty sure we are. But if we're not, we'll put it on there for you, buddy. Don't worry. You want to watch us on video? Check us out on YouTube, SideQuest Arcade. My goal for next week is to have all the thumbnails updated because there's a couple that have kind of snuck through without them, and I really do enjoy making those, putting your faces on everything. Trevor and Brian really do like that. You want t-shirts? You want hats? We got hats now. Fucking on our Teespring. Go check that shit out. Links to that in the description. Hats actually turned out pretty well. Mine will probably be in by the time we record the next episode. That'll be pretty dope. You want to follow the podcast on Twitter, you can do it at SideQuest Arcade. If you want to follow myself, you can follow me at Micromancy. You want to follow Brian, you can follow him at SQA_happiness. You want to follow Trevor, you can follow him at WarHatesPeace. You want to follow Bryce, you can follow him at _Silent Reveries, mind the underscore. And if you want to follow Matt, Digman Matt, you can follow him at MadmanMattYT. With all that being said, Trevor, thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for chatting. Appreciate it. Brother.
My pleasure. My pleasure, brother.
Brian, appreciate it being here, and fucking I'll see you next week, buddy. No, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I lied. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Not next
2
week.
weeks.
2 weeks. See you there. We'll
2
be
weeks.
IRL hanging. Slam beers collapsed after a day of hiking, probably because my cardio is just not great. To be honest.
Honest to God, my cardio struggles, my calves die. So lots of calf workouts before you come. That'll go a mile.
All right. So which dies first, Brian's calves or my cardio? We'll update you in
Vote
2
now.
weeks.
Dude, no matter how bad your cardio is, I still outweigh you by 80 pounds. So what dies first, Brian's calves or Brian's cardio or Flint's pride? Because
Okay.
he's hanging out with a fat guy.
Shit. We'll find out in 2 weeks on next episode of SideQuest Arcade.
The next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Hell yeah.
I-
Next one's filler anyway. All right. Bye-bye.
Peace.